What? 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 Why can't you? 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 I did this. Why can't you?
I did this. Why can't you?
Why can't you?
Mikey,
Is the question.
it's Thursday.
It is.
Another day in the Trump administration, part 2. Electric
Boogaloo,
yeah. You'll have to excuse Mikey. We've traded roles today. He is the tired one.
Oh my god, I'm so tired.
So
sleepy.
But we have an interesting show today. As some of you may or may not know, tomorrow is the last day of the Supreme Court session, and they have a bunch of stuff to rule on still. And I have some Marjorie Taylor Greene, and we can talk about the New York City Democratic primary.
Yeah. They don't want to talk about that.
No.
They don't want to talk about how Mikey is 100% vindicated for all of his wild leftist takes, which seem to be very popular in the most corporate Democrat fucking place on earth. It's almost like the people have a different idea.
But before we talk about the New York City primary, Mikey, I have a little treat for you.
We have to say hi to the people.
Oh yeah, I gotta say hi to the people. Hold on, let me turn on, make sure. Let's get my.
Oh yeah, why don't you take care of it real quick?
Yeah, I'll take care of it real quick here. We'll get back to that in a second. All right, so who we got in the chat? We got Gina.
Yeah. Nothing.
Nothing again?
Oh, dude, no way.
Oh, we just fixed this.
No way.
I made sure that the sound was on. Hold on. Let me try something.
We spent an hour yesterday.
We spent so long yesterday. Okay. I'm doing it a different way. All right, let's see if you can hear it now.
Yay!
Okay, I know what the problem was. I have to share the whole screen and not just a window.
Do the third tab. I go all the way to the third tab, and then I just pick a monitor. Yeah.
That's what I did. So, all right, let's try this again. Gina.
Yeah.
Tim Ballum. Billy. Diz. SG. Oh, and a super chat from Tim Ballum. So Trump heading for impeachment over war without Congress's approval? Probably not, is my answer. And we got Greg in the chat.
Lord Greg.
Trip. And Pole.
Hole in the chat.
Yeah, no, Trump's not going to get impeached for any sort of. He's just not. Even if
we don't have the numbers.
Yeah, even if they did, there's no one to finish that whole process. Like Congress would not finish it. And he would just get acquitted in the Senate trial. I don't know what we're doing here, but it's not that.
So I owe Billy a story.
All right.
So I'm doing my whatever it is I do in this office, and me and the kiddo are downstairs, and the wife is upstairs because she has to go to work in the morning. So I got to try to keep her as quiet as possible so the wife can, remain asleep. That doesn't happen a lot as in the last month or so. So I'm down here, I'm in my chair. It's kind of hard to describe, but it's a kneeling chair. See if you guys can see. So this is the accurate way. Look out, Zero. This is the accurate way I'm supposed to be sitting. On my knees, but then my butt is up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But it's that kind of chair. So you can't sleep in it. You can't slouch in it. You have to sit up. You have to use your posture. That's the reason I got it. But I was tired because the freaking kid wouldn't go to sleep. So I'm laying back. I'm sitting in the wrong position on here. And a fucking thunderstorm comes. Zero's knocked out to my right. Dexter's passed out on a chair to my left, and I'm balanced against the wall trying to like sleep just trying to sleep. Catch a couple of winks here and there when I can get them. I'm talking about a thunderbolt must have hit across the street. I have no idea who jumped, but all of us jumped. And then we all looked at each other like, why the hell you jumping, making me scared like that? What's wrong with you? We literally did like the Spider-Man meme of like, it was so bad. So then we all decided to go our separate ways because we couldn't decide who was the one who actually startled each of us. So we all just decided this was not the place to be. Oh boy. I don't know what's going on with me. I just woke up. So my breathing tubes are all uncalibrated. But yeah, there you go, Billy. That is the thunderstorm story. All three of us fucking flew out of our rigmarole sleeping arrangements and blamed each other for the thunder.
I'd rather enjoy a good thunderstorm.
Yeah.
I know that Connecticut is not like storm chaser territory because it's all fucking hilly and trees and bullshit. But I've chased a storm or two in my day. Got out there with a camera, got some good pictures of lightning.
Oh, we don't have to chase around here.
No, the storms find you.
Yeah, you just chill. You just chill. They'll come find you.
No, but in Connecticut, you gotta like go out and find them because it's not.
Galileo Figaro, Magnifico. I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me. You know, I'm gonna start playing more Queen for the Queen for the kiddo because she loves singing, loves it. Don't know where she got that from, but right now she's less aerial, more scuttle. So we're just gonna adjust that. We're just gonna show her some notes, teach her what a key is, and then that way we don't have to worry about the banshee screeches every time she likes a song. You just hear blood curdling screams out there. It was like, oh my god, my baby is being attacked by wolverines, and I go in there and she's just like with her dolls spinning in circles. Wah! I'm like, no, that's not singing. That's not it. That's not it. You're just yelling. And it's also, let me check, 1 a.m. Mommy needs to sleep. You have to stop doing this.
All right, Mikey. Our first.
Oh, joy.
This is apparently an oversight committee hearing that just went off the rails.
What? With Marjorie? Why would it go off the rails?
Well, because you see, Congresswoman Green is the chair of this committee, and boy,
is she the chair?
She's the chair.
I have to be reminded sometimes. Maybe she could pound the gavel and yell, I'm the chair.
She's got a plaque and everything.
I wish the January Sixers had stolen that.
Yeah, right.
She didn't have it yet, but a guy can dream.
From Texas for 5 minutes.
Yes, Madam Chair. I'd actually like to subpoena the former head of Doge. If we could subpoena Elon Musk. Can we take a vote on that?
This
Aye.
hearing will suspend.
Aye. Is
the clerk in place? Do we have a clerk?
What's the problem?
Can I make a motion that we
Can you pause
subpoena
it?
Elon Musk right now?
So this is all right. I'm glad you played this, and I'm glad you're here because this is shit that you can explain that I cannot explain.
Okay.
Run it back to like the beginning, and can you kind of explain? Because we're only like 20 seconds in.
Yeah.
Can you explain kind of how the system, like the parliamentary rules, because they're different in country to country?
Oh, yeah.
Because normally, like, Marjorie Taylor Greene would never give a shit of what Jasmine Crockett has to say about them. But she's like, actually do it. Like, that might seem like she's being conciliatory when she's actually forced to by the rule set. So,
yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll go through this.
So just like, so just play it again, but maybe explain the process, kind of how it's going.
Okay.
I now recognize Ms. Crockett from Texas for 5 minutes.
Yes, Madam Chair. I'd actually like to subpoena the former head of Doge. If
Okay. So
Yeah.
every member of Congress in a committee has the power to subpoena witnesses to testify in front of that committee. So Jasmine Crockett here is wanting to subpoena Elon Musk, which is something the Democrats have wanted to do the entire time.
But subpoenaing people in this form, totally normal.
Totally 100% normal. Any congressperson in a committee can ask to subpoena witnesses. Sometimes it doesn't go their way, sometimes it does.
Right.
we could subpoena Elon Musk, can we take a vote on that?
So that's how the subpoena process works. If someone asks for a subpoena, then they have to take a vote, and if the vote is majority in favor, then they subpoena the witness.
There we go.
This hearing will suspend.
Now she's canceling the hearing.
I think she said the wrong thing.
This hearing will suspend is all right. We're going to pause everything right now. That's
Till
what
tomorrow.
that means. Till tomorrow, till whenever the call of the chair is.
What's the
I
right
think-
call there? Isn't there you just tell the clerk to do a vote, right?
Yeah, you would call I mean, there's a couple of options here. You can suspend the hearing like the chairwoman is doing. You can call for executive session, which is a closed door session.
Right.
Or you can go ahead with the vote. Like those are your options.
She said, "Turn it off, please.
Yeah, she was like, I don't want to.
No voting."
Is the clerk in place?
And every hearing has a person who's like the clerk. That's like the secretary of the hearing. They record all the votes.
Vote counter
They also record all the motions and all that stuff.
in the minutes.
We have a clerk? Can I make a motion that we subpoena?
In Robert's Rules of Order, usually there's a second to a motion. I don't know if
Mhm.
that's the same as congressional rules for it. Maybe you can just make a motion
And
then
maybe
they
it's
vote on it.
different because they're in a committee.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
yeah,
not like
yeah.
a full session.
Yeah, I mean, in regular, like if you're doing like your local town hall or whatever, usually there's a motion and a second for any sort of thing that somebody wants to do.
Elon Musk right now.
The hearing has suspended.
She said, "I don't want you to talk.
We're not talking right now.
You don't get to talk right now."
I'm going to talk to these people, not to you.
What?
The hearing is actually suspended, huh?
She said, "I don't know what to do right now. Turn it off."
Hey, that poster, did Tim and Mikey's DC print shop make that poster?
The headliners.
The
What
headliners.
What a print shop name, man.
Oh my God.
It-
Just opening up a print shop in DC called the Headliners. That's money in the
We
bank.
would be fucking rich by sundown.
I know.
Imagine if they had like a real impeachment hearing. We'd have to hire 30, 40 people.
We'd have to franchise like immediately.
We'd have Democrat shops, red shops.
Oh my God, yes. Have one shop that's like coded red and one that's coded blue.
The headliners is for the blue, and then the red would be like the truth finders,
Oh yeah.
the truth tellers.
The truth tellers. Yeah, yeah.
And then they could come in and get their bullshit red side. We'd fuck up all their Photoshop a little bit. I'd use AI on their shit.
Oh my God, yes. Just so it's a little blurry around the edges.
And everyone's got 6 fingers.
And like all the people in like pictures are like uncanny valley people.
Oh, too many teeth.
Yeah, too many teeth. Or their eyes are too big, or their faces are just like not right.
Their irises are really small.
Oh
So
my
they
God.
look like they have mostly white eyes.
Yeah. Or they got like anime eyes where their whole eyes are just too big.
They got Mangekyo Sharingan.
All right, so she's having a conference with those guys.
The people who actually know the rules.
Yeah, and I think she's being told that you kind of have to, like, those are the rules.
Yeah.
All right, we'll break it up. 1, 2, 3, go team.
1, 2, 3 defense.
Wow.
Crispy Velvet does not allow merch. That's the thing about Crispy Velvet.
Point of, Madam Chair.
All right, so
We're suspended.
a point of order is someone asking about the rules. Whenever someone asks for a point of order, it's saying, hey, can I get clarification on the rules of this committee?
And typically you bring up a rule that is about what's going on
Yes,
to say, hey, aren't you doing this wrong?
right. Which
It's like
Marjorie
objection.
Taylor Greene often does. She has no idea how to run a committee. I can
Objection leading.
objection leading. Objection, badgering the witness.
Yeah.
He's your witness. I object.
Point of inquiry.
What?
I'm trying to ask a question.
The hearing is suspended. If you can have some patience, we're suspended.
It's-
I would also like to point out how few people there are in that room.
Yeah.
Like,
Not a lot of Doziers.
not a lot of Doziers left in there. And there are people that see the table down in like the sort of the front for us. Those are all witnesses testifying in front of the committee currently.
People who have been subpoenaed.
Or just come willingly. You don't have to be subpoenaed.
Well, I mean, if they ask you, it's technically a subpoena, but
Right. Or they're like, hey, I would like, some people like offer themselves up and say, hey, I want to testify in front of your committee, like as an expert witness for whatever.
The hearing will now resume. Ms. Crockett, do you have a motion?
I didn't have a motion. I had a point of order. I was trying to determine how long it was going to take for us to call the roll. I can call it if need be.
Well, if you're not making a motion, then
already made
you
the
can
motion.
continue with your 5 minutes of
The
questioning.
motion was to subpoena Elon Musk, who was heading Doge, who is the one that made the recommendations for these cuts, yet he is yet to come before this committee. And last time I checked, none of the witnesses sitting here know anything about Doge except for what they read on the internet. I want to talk to the person.
This isn't either. You've made your motion.
Okay, well, you were asking, so I wanted to make sure you
made your
understood.
motion.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Burchett,
Chair Lady, I'd like make a motion to table that motion.
Oh, we got to have Mikey come back for this because that's a little crazy. But basically, they were discussing their strategy to stop the motion, and they made a motion to table the motion, which is just hat on a hat. Unfortunately, Robert's Rules of Orders and committee rules sometimes get that weird and boring. It's weird and boring at the same time. But this is how these things happen sometimes. If you ever watch like C-SPAN for longer than a clip, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes of C-SPAN when they're just doing mundane, boring shit, this is what happens sometimes. You get motions to table motions, and then you get votes upon votes. It's all procedural nonsense. She does look pissed. Chrissy in the chat. Here, I got an air horn for that. McKinnon in the chat. Oh, Dead City in the chat. I'd like to make a motion to table the tabling motion of the motion. Yeah, it's that kind of nonsense. It's just procedural, bureaucratic bullshit that just Congress goes through.
I saved the baby.
Oh, that's good. Mikey, so we figured out what their strategy was here.
Mhm.
either you've made your motion.
Okay, well, you were asking, so I wanted to make sure you
You made your
understood.
motion.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Burchett,
Chair Lady, I'd like make a motion to table that motion.
So
What the fuck?
they were discussing in their little conference when the committee was suspended to table the motion of the motion. So they made a motion to table Jasmine Crockett's motion. Now there's going to be like votes upon votes, and this is just a stalling tactic.
Which is what the Democrats should have been doing the whole time. Every time the Republicans wanted to do anything, I have a motion to table that motion.
For Billy in the
Let's-
chat.
Fettuccine, linguine, martini, bikini.
But yeah, that's how it goes. It's just bureaucratic Robert's Rules of Order nonsense.
So I can't. I'm not allowed to make fun of the physical appearance of women. So what I'm going to do from now on is just start saying all of Marjorie Taylor Greene's ex-boyfriends. I heard on a certain I heard on the internet that she used to date the Liver King, and it shows.
I heard the Liver King just got arrested
Yeah, dude,
for
he's coming up
threatening
late.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, dude, he's coming up later.
The motion is not debatable, as many are in favor of tabling the motion. Signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed signify by saying no.
No,
In the opinion of the chair, the yeas have it.
Madam Chair, we
The
ask for a
motion
recorded
to
vote.
table is agreed.
There you go.
God, I hate this. I really hate. So the tactic here is for the chair just to call for a voice vote, which is just saying aye or saying nay. And then the chair gets to make an opinion about who
Had it.
who was the loudest in the audience. And then the immediate response by whoever is losing the vote is, I'd like to call for a roll call vote.
Which is what the only option should be. I mean, I get that there's like a loud, whoever's loudest kind of thing, but yo, what if they had me in there? I'm very loud. I'm 10 to 15 ayes or nays every time.
Now, technically in this committee, there's one more Republican than there are Democrats, just like all the committees except for the ethics committee, because the ethics committee is supposed to be checking Congress.
Right.
And they have one more Democrat than Republican. So in all these committees,
God, that's hot.
Democrats are at a disadvantage by 1 or 2 votes because that's just how it is.
That's
So
just the way it is. I need to put that on here.
the only thing they can do is make it harder for the Republicans to pass things.
Make it take a long time.
A recorded vote is ordered. The clerk will call the roll.
Yeah, call it.
We're gonna wait one moment. The clerk will.
The guy's like, yeah, fucking call it. Let's go.
Let's do the thing.
Well,
And when the vote is recorded like this, now everybody can make a clip of them voting no on something.
Right.
the clerk will prepare for the vote, and then we'll go from there.
She does
Hearing is
not understand
suspended.
how this shit works. Quit saying that. We know already. God damn.
How long does it take to prepare for the vote, guys? Come on. They're just chatting it up over there.
2 1 2.
I have to do it. Keep it playing.
He's bleach blonde, bad built butch body.
I had to do it. Looks like she's faking it. She's not faking it. She legitimately doesn't know what she's doing.
Yeah, legitimately.
Like she just straight up doesn't understand. That's why everyone's having a hand walk her
Hearing
through
will
this.
resume. A recorded vote is ordered. The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Cloud.
No.
Mr.
Cloud Strife? Like, I don't think
Mr.
it's
Cloud votes yes. Mr. Fallon.
Yes to table.
Mr. Timmons. Mr. Timmons votes yes. Mr. Burchett. Mr. Burchett votes aye. Mr. Burleson.
These
Mr.
people got to
Jackson.
sit here through this shit. They're like, damn, dude, I'm ready to talk.
Mr. Gill. Mr. Gill votes aye. Miss Stansberry.
Well, and also, this is how Jasmine Crockett turned her 5 minutes into 15.
Yep.
Miss Norton.
Yeah, Miss
Mr.
Norton.
Lynch. Mr. Lynch votes no. Mr. Garcia. Mr. Kassar. Mr. Crockett, or Miss Crockett.
No.
Miss Green.
Yes to table.
Don't
lot of
whisper.
The clerk will report the
fireworks in
tally.
this clip there, Tim.
Anywho, obviously there were more Republicans, so the motion to table was adopted. They tabled the motion of the motion of the motion.
So weak. So weak. You know what? But keep doing it, because guess what? They don't like to show up all the time.
Yeah, they
Keep
don't.
doing it, because
And-
eventually they won't have it.
And you know, once again, it's a stalling tactic. There's no filibuster in the House, so this is their stalling tactic is making sure that every committee hearing is just a grueling process, and it frustrates Marjorie Taylor Greene to no end.
Because she can't just. I'll find the clip of her bang. I thought you had the bang the gavel one. Lord have mercy, that was a nightmare. I'll find it for you. But in the meantime, to Cincinnati.
That time of year again when lizards may be popping out on your porch. The Lazarus lizards are not native to Cincinnati. In fact, they were smuggled here from Italy by a young boy.
I remember seeing this story on social media, actually. WLWT News 5's Rachel.
This is the kind of shit I would like to be responsible for. I brought a species to a new environment and it thrived. That's what I want to be known for. Like Kane has his toad in Australia and they're still killing everything. I would like a plague animal to be because of me.
Whalen learned how the reptiles have made home in the Midwest and the important research that's being done on them.
You might not think Milan, Italy, and Cincinnati, Ohio have a lot in common, but
How dare you, racist? They're both bespoke, picturesque places that and people always travel to Cincinnati for photos. Shut up.
to a lizard, it's all the same, thanks to our climate, old buildings, and stone features like this.
In PB tube, put 60 microliters. My mom now likes to tease me that I do the same thing for my job now that I did when I was 9 years old.
Like an adventure. Eric Gangloff and his students from Ohio Wesleyan University explore our Cincinnati parks for one thing, to catch lizards.
Got it. I think they're the cutest things ever. I have a tattoo of them, the bones of the lizard. Boop.
Now that lady needs to be in Congress. That's who needs to be in charge of the EPA. Do you have a lizard skeleton tattoo on your body somewhere?
Right.
Yes? Come on in.
To avoid hurting these scaly creatures, they use fishing poles with a loop on the end and these special sacks.
The sacks kind of look like socks.
They are women's stockings. Yes, size 10 to 12. They're breathable, they're flexible, they're washable. It's pretty funny when I go into like Target.
Because the lizards are gonna emergency pee and poop. Because if I am in your mouth, the last thing you'd want for me to do is to start pooping, right? You'll spit me out, you see, because I'm covered in feces.
Target or Walmart and fill up a shopping cart with women's stockings and cash out.
I almost had one.
What's even crazier is the origin story of these lizards. Eric says in the 1950s, the Lazarus family, who founded Macy's, took a vacation near Milan, Italy.
And their young son loved these lizards so much that he put about 10 of them or so in a sock and
10? Brother, that's a lot.
Smuggled them on the airplane back here and released them in his backyard in Cincinnati. And since then, that original 10 has just absolutely exploded. And she is not marked before. She's not one we've caught before.
Eric says there now may be millions of these appropriately named Lazarus lizards all over greater Cincinnati. And his team is trying to figure out if that's a bad thing.
If I had to answer the question shortly, are they invasive? I would say not yet. But there's a good chance that they could cause problems as they.
Can we borrow some?
Yeah, right.
Because I know little lizards like to eat bugs, and we got some bugs that they could eat.
Yeah, I moved to the fucking mountains, and they got some bugs here.
This is
so much worse. This is so much worse. But here we go.
Live look at the White House tonight as the Trump administration is enlisting the public in its effort to reframe the way that American history is told at national parks. The National Park Service has started putting up signs like these at hundreds of parks and monuments across the country. We found them at Bay Area landmarks like Fort Mason and Fort Point. Signs ask visitors to.
The lizard people, the conspiracy people warned us about.
Is it like that episode of The Simpsons where they like got lizards to eat a certain bird, and then they had to get a mongoose to get rid of the lizards, and then there's an overpopulation of mongooses, so they like eventually just like had to leave the town because there was just too much shit.
You just got to give up.
To report so-called negative information about past or living Americans. John Ramos talked with park advocates
about past or living Americans. That's an important phrase.
Kids who say they're worried that this is a blatant attempt to cover up some of America's darkest secrets.
I disagree with your analysis.
They say those who ignore history are doomed to repeat it. So what happens when you actually try to erase history? At the Rosie the Riveter Visitor Center, people learn about the contributions of the home front during World War II, but it's honest about the way women and minorities.
It says here on the sign, wives and mothers were expected to stay at home. According to the 1936 public poll, 82% of Americans believe that a wife should not work if her husband had a job.
Ooh, I'm going to see if there's current polling on that. That's an interesting question to.
That is a good question. See how far we've fallen.
Minorities were being treated at the time. That part of the story may be in jeopardy, as President Trump has directed all national parks to carry notices inviting the public to report any, quote, signs or other information.
Rosie the River / World War II National Historical Park belongs to the American people, and the National Park Service wants your feedback. Please let us know if you have identified 1, any areas that need repair, 2, any services that need improvement, or 3, any signs or information that are negative about either past or living Americans, or that fail to emphasize the beauty, grandeur, and abundance of landscapes and other natural features. This is so ChatGPT, it's fucking disgusting. The Trump administration has never talked about the beauty, grandeur, or abundance of landscapes and other natural features. He said, drill, baby, drill, and now he gives a shit about a fucking museum. This is Vought. This is Vought and his thought police trying to fucking erase the past.
That are negative about either past or living Americans, or that fail to emphasize the beauty, grandeur, and abundance of landscapes and other natural features.
Uh-oh. Kaboom! Tim Allen with the 5 British pounds. Sounds familiar. They tried taking over English heritage, so they didn't teach our country houses built with money from slavery. That would make us feel uncomfortable. Yeah, abundance. Yeah, there you go. And it's funny that the left is trying, or the Democrats, not even the left.
Hey,
the Democrats are trying
I haven't finished reading it yet.
Sorry. Sorry.
End quote.
It seems like it's a clear attempt to whitewash history, to erase narratives from the past that they feel don't fit the narratives that they want to see portrayed, and probably most dangerously omit aspects of our history that are really important for us to understand and learn from.
Dennis Arguelles is with the National Parks Conservation Association.
All right, John Ramos, why are you in a van? Like, that's a van, right?
Yeah, that's definitely a van. It looks like one of those like windowless vans. Like one of those just white vans that you just like
free candy.
Who wants some candy?
I got all these puppies in the back. Don't you want to help me pet them?
Association, a nonprofit
that would get me. I'm like, puppies, get out of the way, you dumb motherfucker.
That advocates for the national parks. He believes the signs invite people to seek out things about history they would like to erase.
We're seeing this as an attempt to circumnavigate, the authority of the Park Service to tell these stories, to tell accurate history, and to make sure again that we learn, particularly from the mistakes of the past.
But isn't the Park Service going along with this?
Well, I mean, in our view, the Park Service has no choice. I mean, these directives are coming down from the administration, from the Department of Interior, from the...
Kate Smith says it's what Putin has done to the education system in Russia with correct teachings now in place.
So, Mikey, I do have some current polling data on whether or not stay-at-home mothers is a thing. So, It looks like the way the questions have been asked has been changed. It's not just asking, should women stay home and take care of the kids and all that. It's asking women if they want to stay home. And so
it's a very different question.
It's a very different question. And apparently there's been a small rise in women who want to stay home in recent years since 2012. And
since the first collapse.
Men are at 65% are somewhat more likely than women to say that children are better off when a parent is home, but even among women, 55% say that having a parent at home is better for the child. 4 in 10
See,
women
that's skewing the question though, because it doesn't say the women. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, they weren't going against the thing that we were trying to look for, so it makes sense.
This was a whole survey done by the Pew Research Center. By the way, if you're looking for like really good data, like crazy good data, Pew Research Center is where it's at. They are not 100% unbiased, but they're as unbiased as you can get. And they research everything. Literally, like this is a whole big, long research project on parents staying at home and how good it is for children, for parents to be home versus having like a babysitter or a different caretaker. And there's a fact sheet. And they also condense it down into little fact sheets so that you don't have to read through a whole 5-chapter fucking research paper. So
a summary, the original AI.
So basically the title here is the rising cost of children may help explain recent increase in stay-at-home moms. There you go.
Air horn, please.
Mikey, you like staying at home? I did.
Well, you didn't play the audio on your thing. So
sorry, I turned the audio off so that hold on.
Nope, too late. I already did it. Tim Ballum with 2 British pounds. Mikey, you like staying at home? I did. Yeah, I like staying at home, but I also hate my former industry, like with the fiery passion of 1,000 suns, and like nothing could get me to go back into that. Like they would have to give me 6 figures to even like consider it going back.
I worked in the same industry that you worked in, Mikey, and I would never go back to that fucking nightmare.
Like it needs to be really worth my while. But then like nowadays, like who the hell is gonna raise Kira?
Yeah.
These fucking yahoos out here who don't believe in vaccinations, don't believe in science, have no idea how to be like emotionally aware about shit. Like I'm not gonna let y'all ruin my kid.
And
not for money.
Yeah, and the Pew Research thing that I was talking about basically said that because of the cost of childcare,
exactly,
our parents are opting to stay home because it's just too expensive.
You can't afford it.
And it really doesn't have anything to do with like women should stay home. It's they're choosing to stay home because they can't afford not to.
It's $200 to $500 a week.
Which is crazy.
Which is $2,000 a month, which is rent. Like you have to pay someone's rent if you want. God damn it, McKinnon.
I was not a male escort.
You're just telling all our business.
The secretary.
Telling all
and, in many
like no one even asks, hey, is Mikey escort? Like no,
cases,
no one
they
even
don't have
asks.
the choice but to go along with this.
For example, the sign has reportedly been placed at Port Chicago, the site commemorating a massive explosion during World War II that killed 320 black sailors and the hundreds more who were court-martialed for refusing to return to work.
They say, yo, you need to get back in that factory. There's like, you need to make sure it's not going to blow up.
The signs are also located at the Manzanar Relocation Center, where Japanese Americans were interned during World War II.
No, that is the place where the American citizens went to step on the ground to make it flat. No, what are you talking about internment camps?
Is it even possible to have a site at Manzanar and not have some kind of negative history assigned to it?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think it's possible. But at the same point in time, the understanding of the things that we have done is not in and of itself a negative process. It is not a process that is designed to make people feel bad about being American. It's a process that is
Move it, football
designed
head.
to make us better as Americans.
Dr. Nicholas Baham is a professor of ethnic studies at Cal State East Bay. He's particularly disturbed by the fact the Park Service can no longer see the comments that the public is submitting.
I don't know what
comment section turned off.
That kind of system that sets up, other than one that creates a sense.
Comments have been disabled for this post.
Sense of distrust between visitors to the park, American citizens, and people who work at the park.
In his order, President Trump wrote, quote, "This revisionist movement seeks to undermine the remarkable achievements of the United States by casting its founding principles and historical milestones in a negative light."
Under this historical revision, our nation's unparalleled legacy of advancing liberty, individual rights, and human happiness is reconstructed as inherently racist, sexist, oppressive, and otherwise irredeemably flawed.
Yawn.
It's like, I don't know how many times I have to say that, but every accusation is a confession.
Yeah. Yeah.
But people telling the fucking truth is not, oh, you're just trying to make me look bad. That's fake news. Brother, I almost said something else. I'm very sleepy.
As a white person who's gone through, let's say, school and has heard a lot from the right about all this stuff and revisionist history and all that, and all the, you know, DEI fucking critical race theory nonsense that they push. I don't listen. Learning about history doesn't make me feel guilty about being white. It makes me feel bad. It makes me feel bad for the people who like suffered through that history. It's empathy.
Tim, when I'm in class and they start talking about slavery and I start rooting for the Confederacy, and then I realize that I'm the only one rooting for the Confederacy, it really embarrasses me in front of the class.
Well, maybe you shouldn't be rooting for the Confederacy because they were fucking losers. They lost.
Wait, I got that on my board. Hold on.
You're real ugly. You're real ugly.
That's Trump with his teeth falling out, calling the press real losers.
You're real ugly.
You're really.
I don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
This is what the right is really telling you by doing all of this. They want you to not have empathy.
Yeah.
They want you to not. It's not about feeling guilty. I wasn't born then. It wasn't my fault. It just wasn't. But I have empathy for the people that went through that stuff, because in many cases they went through rough conditions. They were tortured. They were enslaved. Whatever it was, you should have empathy for that. You should be like, yeah, that sucked. It was a bad period in history, and we should acknowledge it was a bad period in history.
Tim, I'm trying to revive the SS. I cannot have these fucking signs out here teaching people history.
Here's what's going to happen. Future generations are going to have empathy for people that went through the shit that's going through right now.
Oh my God, they're going to have signs about us.
They are.
Oh no, we're going to be a fucking sign at a national park.
There's going to be plaques and memorials for the people that went through the shit that's happening right now.
This is where the former site used to be because it was torn down by the Trump administration.
John mentioned the Port of Chicago Memorial in his story. Now, we did reach out to the Port Chicago Alliance for their thoughts on the new signs. They sent us a statement that reads in part, quote,
and this is for the black people. This is the black people committee or whatever.
We will not allow our history to be erased. Regardless of orders, policies, or political tides, these histories are not separate or optional. They are central to our understanding of who we are as a nation.
That's the part I don't get. Is that like people think that what you learn in history is optional. And it's happened to me in my schools that stuff has been like left out. And this is like liberal ass Connecticut. But stuff was left out either for curriculum or time constraints or whatever. There's stuff that we didn't learn. Like the Trail of Tears. It's not something that's always taught.
Right.
The Tuskegee Airmen, not something that's always taught in like a World War II curriculum. But it should be.
It's very important to America's involvement.
Like my US history high school class was basically like watching Saving Private Ryan and talking about like the most important points of World War II. But like it's not the whole picture, right? It's just the big events that happen, Germany invaded Poland, and then they invaded France, and then the Allies did D-Day, and then we dropped a bomb on Japan, and that was what was taught, but no one taught like the actual what happened in World War II in America, because that wasn't the curriculum. It was teaching like just the dates and times and battles.
Yeah. And the worst thing is like with the time and all that shit, like because you only have, I mean, most like U.S. history and world history, I took both of those are a semester each.
Yeah.
So they got to get through the whole world's history up until yesterday in 4 months.
And
an hour at a time,
Yeah. And even like the Civil War, like
yeah,
not all of it was taught.
There's too many events.
There's too many.
Even for a child's squishy, soft, delicious brain.
At least we didn't get the states' rights thing at least in my schools. The war was about slavery. It just was. And Connecticut tried to portray itself as like, oh, we're an abolitionist state, even though they were complicit in slavery, even though they didn't legalize it in Connecticut, but they were complicit in some of it. But they whitewashed that stuff. Connecticut has a long racist history that no one teaches, with redlining and redistricting and not allowing black people on the beaches. Like no one teaches that at like a high school level.
No.
There's no there should be like a Connecticut history class, I think, at some point in your schooling. Just so like your state, Illinois, should have a class about Illinois.
We do. And stop calling it that. In eighth grade, to get into high school, you have to pass the Illinois test and you have to pass the Constitution test in your social studies class. I mean, they'll probably put you through, but it's like that is the big thing in eighth grade is you have to pass your Constitution test and you got to pass the Illinois test. And they ask you stuff like what was like, because Springfield is the capital now, but it didn't used to be. Right. There was 2 other capitals. The major towns will be on there. It'll be like blank, like name 5 large cities in Illinois, and you got to like name them. It's nothing too crazy, but like 1818 is when we were established, and we were the 16th state in the union, and like that kind of stuff they ask you about.
I'm pretty sure, like, and at least in my schools, like Connecticut history is sort of blended with colonial history, because that's what it was for the most part. So we learned colonial history from maybe like the Connecticut perspective, but there wasn't like a comprehensive class that you had to take and pass to get to we had to take a civics class for the Constitution in high school to graduate, but that was about it.
Yeah. Where are we at? Where am I thing at?
Yeah, where's
here it is.
Monday, several agencies, including U.S. Marshals, arrested 4.
I'm sorry. We're back in Florida.
42-year-old Looney John Franklin Toone in Sandy. Toone is accused of shooting and running from law enforcement through Eastmoreland Golf.
Yo. You know what the worst part of this is? It's spelled wrong. It's Toone like music. They're part of the Merry Melodies. It's
Oh
Looney
my God.
Tunes. There's an E in Looney. Like, this is just all bad.
Golf course. He's in court today, now facing.
And he looks just like Steve-O, doesn't he?
He does look like. I was like, why is Steve-O in prison?
Steve-O's in trouble.
Why is Steve-O in trouble?
What's his name? Is that his name? Oh, here they say the full thing. Here you go.
Agencies, including U.S. Marshals, arrested 42-year-old Looney John Franklin Toon in Sandy.
Looney John Franklin Toon.
Why did they give him Franklin as a first name? Something. He could be Frankie L, you know? Frankie, oh no, Toon is last name. Frankie T. F Tunes.
We got Alice Steeram in the chat now.
Hey, air horn that man. You know what?
He's bleach blonde, bad built butch body.
I don't get to use it enough.
Is accused of shooting and running from law enforcement through Eastmoreland Golf Course. He's in court today, now facing a list of charges, including attempted murder and criminal.
Man, that sucks.
Oh shit.
So this is for all you riders out there. And actually, I was going to say this for the end. I accidentally played it. But I'm waking up now. Hello, everyone. This is what masculinity looks like. Observe.
Oh, shit! Are you kidding me?
He teasered us. That's a good short production.
Got teased?
Just cruising around. This is actually really dangerous for bikes when like I forget what it's called, but it's like a half lighted highway.
Yeah.
Because the bike starts to disappear in the shadows, and it's hard for your eyes to kind of keep track of moving objects when the light is all fucked up and different in every single area.
Are you kidding me?
Well, I won't be standing for this. All right, chat, predict what's going to happen now. So you guys all saw it. You all saw it, right? Motherfucker driving down the road, minding his own motherfucking business in his lane, not doing a wheelie. Fucking garbage truck pulls into his lane, almost murders him. So what do you predict will happen next? Chat, let us know. I'll give it a, let's do some,
From Universal Studios, Hollywood.
He'd be cool with it, I reckon, says Scott. Okay. A reason's conversation follows, says Unquiet Badger. They recognize each other from college and they go for a coffee and cake. Ooh, okay. They're brothers.
I'm gonna say the motorcycle rider chews out the truck driver for trying to run him over.
Sarah Davies says, "What a load of trash." Okay, Sarah, I see you over there. Near miss, big time. That was scary as shit. He has a wee talk with him.
A person he offers him an ice cream.
Big hugs.
As she says,
guns. And I started blasting. I think I like the fact that like they say they recognize each other from college and they go out for a coffee. What if he takes off his motorcycle helmet and they have the same face? It's like,
oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry about that. We're good, brother. We're good. Yeah, I'm a rider too, man.
Diz guessed it.
Wow, they hug it out. I mean, that's good. So sometimes you gotta hug it out.
Sometimes you just gotta be like, hey man.
Sorry about that. We're good, brother. We're good. Yeah, I'm a rider too, man. All right, don't worry about nothing, man. You're good. I'm constantly trying to get them to come out, and then the traffic behind me. I see you, man. You saw me just in time. It's a learning experience for me. You're good, bro. I'm sorry. You're good, bro. You saw me. You know now. We're good.
There you go. There's your positive masculinity moment of the day. He could have killed him, but it was clearly an accident. So he said, "I'm sorry." And he said, I forgive you. Give me a hug.
I think we need more stuff like that, man. Like all this Andrew Tate, toxic masculinity bullshit. Like the Pauls and Andrew Tate and fucking Jordan Peterson. Like all that manosphere bullshit. I was listening. I know you're not the biggest fan, but I was listening to Josh Johnson do a bit about there's a TikTok trend.
Hold on. I don't hate Josh Johnson. I just think his voice is annoying, and I feel like his comedy vehicle is my vehicle. So I'm just like, the fuck. I'm just hating. I don't dislike him. He's great. I'm just a hater.
He was talking about there's a TikTok trend where guys call each other and like wish each other a good night and all that, like just calling each other to be like, hey, I just called to say good night and sweet dreams and all that, and like the reaction to that. But it's accidentally causing positive masculinity because some of the reactions are like, oh, thanks, bro. Good night,
man, thanks for checking on me.
Yeah, thanks for checking in on me. And like sort of like the same stuff that we've been preaching over like the last couple of months, where like just like go out and make a friend, like because guys don't make friends easily after a certain age. Like once you're out of high school, it's kind of hard to make friends.
Not for me.
Well, except for
I'm crazy, and everybody wants to be friends with a crazy guy.
But like,
safe.
Yeah, I think that kind of stuff is like a good idea. Like, do a check-in with your friends if you haven't talked to them in a while. I know I have a problem with it because the ADHD makes me forget that people exist if I don't talk to them.
Their object permanence is kind of in limbo there.
But like whenever I think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I should check in on that person, especially if like someone has like chronic depression or like maybe they're not like in a good place. Like, just like a text, call them, say hi. Be a good person.
It's free.
It's free. All right.
Do you want to hear some toxic masculinity?
Oh my god.
I played some Call of Duty yesterday. This kid like was screaming, bitching and complaining about God knows what since the opening bell. He's just been crying and bitching and whinging. So then he started getting racist, and I was like, I have to record this.
Get more than 2 kills? It's shipment. Never any more than like 5 feet away from somebody. You can't get more than 2 kills on shipment, dude. Like, you just randomly have...
I forgot to unmute my mic, so you're just going to hear it.
Come out and insult.
The whole time I'm like, I think you're crashing out, bud. I think you're having a moment right here now, man.
The nigga. And then, like, you just shut the fuck up at the bottom of the leaderboard. You're dog shit, buddy. You're dog shit. You're a pussy. You're a bitch. Oh,
like,
yeah, the glory of how walk my iron. Suck my cock, dude. Suck my cock.
This is probably a 13 or 14-year-old.
Yeah, he sounds like it.
And this is the thing. Like, I'm not playing this because, like, oh, look at how good I am at Call of Duty or whatever. It's just like, bro, I'm in there. I got my riot shield out, my throwing knife. I'm trying to get some hilarious clips of me shocking somebody. They shoot all their bullets. It's funny. And then I go, what? And I hit them with a little knife. And then they fall over and they die. And then I walk over to their body and I pick up my knife. And then I teabag them. And I cackle. Oh, I cackle. It's a good time. Everyone should try it. I didn't even get into my shit. And this kid is having a meltdown because someone on the other team shot him. And by the way, gentlemen out there, rage and anger are emotions. So when you rage out, you're having an emotional breakdown.
Yeah.
Sadness is not the only emotion out there. I won't play the rest of the clip, but let me tell you, every slur you can think of, he tried to use. And when he ran out of those, he just kind of, here, let me see if I can.
I'm just rage baiting you. You sound like you're actually like pressed by what I'm saying. You sound.
Keep in mind the whole time I'm like, are you all right, man? Sounds like you're not all right, man. Very sarcastic, assholey, like I am always.
Like you actually sort of kind of might give a shit. No, I'm not upset in the slightest. I'm really not upset in the slightest. Dude, I'm not freaking out. I'm literally just yapping at you, dude. Like, you're a young person. You're a whole-ass, grown-ass adult man crying like a bitch that you're getting yapped at by somebody that really couldn't give a fuck. You're sitting there crying like a bitch, decided to go AFK and just sit on the mic because you got called a little bitch. Like, you're actually...
The whole time I'm just like, do you have friends that you can hang out with? Because you're kind of sounding like you're in a crisis moment. He just kept going. And I'm like, so you're good? It's like, oh, well, you don't get bitches. I was like, I don't need bitches, dude. I have a wife and a kid. Wife and a kid. You think? I was like, do you have a girlfriend? Do you have a job? Do you have like some people you hang out with? No. He doesn't have any of that shit. That's why they're online doing this crazy shit. That's why they're following Andrew Tate, because they don't know what to do. They are lost boys. They are lost boys. Peter Pan was a myth. These little boys, which is what they are trapped on an island by themselves. They are terrified of the world around them, and hatred seems to be the only thing that makes them feel good because they have nothing else. Nothing. Their lives suck. This kid sucks at fucking video games, yet it is his fucking raison d'etre. Like, it is his reason to exist is to ruin kids online and video games, and he's not good at it. So what does he do? He has to be mean and nasty. Me and Tim have been playing fucking video games together for almost 5 years now.
Yeah.
I've never crashed out like this.
I've never even thought of crashing out like that. Like, I don't take video games any kind of serious at all.
Yeah.
And like like Mikey was talking about playing like with a shield and throwing knives, and like that's not the way that you're supposed to play Call of Duty.
Yeah, you're supposed to run around with a fucking grenade launcher on the bottom of your SMG and fucking slide around with a laser dot scope and just fucking hip fire everyone.
And you know, we play it the way we play it because it's more fun that way. It
pisses people off.
Yeah, it pisses people off, and it gets a rise out of them because you're not playing the way that you're supposed to play to them, and
it's pure defense as opposed to unyielding offense.
But the amount of people who act like that on video games, not just Call of Duty, like video games in general, online, because they have anonymity, and two, they don't really care what they say to people online who they're probably never going to meet again.
Right.
It's just, you know, it's a weird culture that's like been developed for online gaming, and it's always been a thing. Like even back when I played fucking like StarCraft in the early 2000s, people were talking shit, and it's like, all right, sure, but it's a video game, so I don't really care. And like that kid saying that he was rage baiting you is such a bullshit thing to do to someone. Like, that's once again right-wing comedy, or whatever you want to call it, is all about laughing at someone being angry.
Exactly.
I'm not upset, you're upset.
Like if you guys, you might have heard, this might have leaked out into the Rubicon. Why are you mad, bro? You mad, bro? You mad, bro?
Oh yeah. You
That's
mad,
the
bro?
original rage bait. Like, you mad, bro? You mad? You mad, bro? And you just repeat it over and over, and it drives them insane. But I'm literally out there just like having a good time. That kid was like saying horrible shit about the other team, and it's like, oh, he said, oh great, now we gotta play a bunch of virgins. I'm like, you don't sound like you're rolling in pussy, dude.
And I've
like, you're 14, 15. You are a virgin. What the fuck are you talking about?
And I've seen there are a couple of female gamers that I follow on Instagram who just take a lot of heat, but they're way better than the guys they're playing against. And because they're better, they get so much heat from these guys, you know, calling them ugly or fat or whatever. And this girl's just like, yeah, but you're not good at this game.
That's what we're here for. You got all this extra energy to try to talk about me. You need to focus that energy in aiming, like memorizing the map.
There was one I remember where this dude on her team was just like saying every nasty thing he could to her, and she's like, bro, I'm carrying you in this game.
Literally.
Like, you should focus on playing the game instead of insulting me. Maybe you'd be better.
But this is the same logic as the assholes like, yeah, now get the trans people out of sports and da 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 da. Like, these are the people who are making these arguments.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not like fucking, I just love the sport. And I just feel like the sport would be changed radically forever if we did. That's not they're just fucking lonely ass boys. They've been left on an island. No one gives a shit about them. So this is what they do when left up to their own devices. And honestly, I'm with the 4B movement. Fuck them. Ladies, close up shop. Don't date none of their asses. Until they come to their senses, don't date none of them. Don't date none of them. Watch some lesbian porn. See if anything turns on in you, you know? See, just look for other options. Because these motherfuckers need a timeout. A big timeout.
Yeah. Yeah, they need to know that, well, one, they need like a friend. Just a friend to tell them, hey, you're being like real
fucking
toxic.
up.
Yeah. Like they just need someone who can talk to them, who can like get them off of this ledge they're on of like fucking toxic masculinity, where they have to hurl insults at everyone for no reason. Like they just need someone to ground them. So,
and that's why I refuse to get into their fights with them when they want to do this kind of shit. And that poor kid, he has no idea what's going on inside his brain. He's never even thought about it. He's never even thought about the fact that he is potentially, because like, I mean, if I was that type of person, I could 100% grab his IP address, find that clip, send it to his house, send it to his college, send it to his school. You know what I mean? Like I could, in essence, in theory, ruin this kid's life, right? I can make sure that everybody in his town hears and sees his words. But then by the time I got done with him, there'd be 50 more of them.
Right.
It's an ineffective strategy if that's the behavior that you want to curtail. But I need to let y'all know, because he has a cousin or an uncle or, I don't know, an aunt, somebody in his life that maybe I can get in front of, or maybe there's a parallel situation. So if you have a little angry rage gamer kid in your life, you need to talk to him. You need to figure out what's going on with them. These are the school shooters. These are the people attacking random people out in public. Like, these are the type of person. This type of person.
Yeah.
So don't throw them away. Yell at them. They like it because they're fucking weird. But grab them by the ear. Put an arm over their shoulder. Shake them by grab them by both shoulders and shake their fucking clavicle until they wake the fuck up.
Or call them and say goodnight.
You could change that kid's life for the better also, Mikey. I might have. Yes. Tim Ballum with 2 British pounds. Is his cousin also his uncle? Possibly. Depending on the state.
All right, Mikey, I got some news for you.
News for me.
City that every New Yorker could afford.
I literally just pulled that up too.
Woo!
Tonight
air horn
was not our night. Tonight was Assemblyman Mamdani's night, and he put together a great campaign, and he touched young people and inspired them and moved them.
Welcome back. That was Zoran Mamdani declaring victory and Andrew Cuomo conceding defeat after Tuesday's stunning result.
What's her name? Do you know her name?
Meet the Press. Kristen Welker, I think her name is.
She's the one that did Trump's first interview or whatever.
I think so.
She is like one of the greatest puppet masters I've ever seen. Like, she is Geppetto style.
Yeah.
She had that big orange orangutan eaten out of her fucking hand. It was impressive. I was like, He's not getting mad on a follow-up question. Oh, he didn't even know it was a follow-up question. Damn.
Make sure I have her name right.
She's good.
Meet the press.
The problem is the majority of dads don't know how to talk to their sons about emotions and thoughts, as they never talked about it with their dad. Exactly. Got to break the chain, fellas.
Yeah,
Get your ass into some sort of psychology fucking YouTube channel, because you're not, I know you're too pussy to fucking call a fucking therapist. So just get on the internet and get some self-diagnosing going on so that you can understand that the way you think is not normal. There's problems with it.
Just don't make that psychology channel like Jordan Peterson. That's a bad road to go down.
Lord Greg. Stop, Tim.
You stop it.
Cuomo.
Gross.
Cuomo mad Mamdani touch young people without being sued. Yes. Air horns. Beautiful.
If you only knew how ridiculous that statement is, you wouldn't have said it.
Fucking Cuomo.
Yeah.
To New York City's Democratic mayoral primary, Mamdani, a 33-year-old Democratic socialist, centered his
Damn,
campaign
33,
on
Tim.
progressive policy.
And he's a Democratic socialist.
That could have been us.
And he's Muslim.
London has a Muslim mayor.
Yeah. I was talking about this with the wife earlier. Like, when was the last time a non-white guy was mayor of New York City?
I don't know.
Right?
They'll be like, well, he was Irish. You know,
has New York City ever had a female mayor?
No.
Like universal childcare and free city buses. His largely grassroots campaign was powered by small dollar donations and a savvy social.
Yo, his reels were awesome.
He was crushing it.
This
is what we've been saying for the last 2 years, though. Get a fucking YouTube account. Get a TikTok account. Make your own shorts. You do not need mainstream media.
Yeah. He put out, I sent this to Mikey. He put out a reel about making halal food cheaper in New York City.
Oh, yeah. Let me find that, because that is good.
That was fucking great. I saw that and I was like, oh man, if I was in New York, I'd vote for this guy. He wants to make halal food cheaper. And it's like,
to be fair and balanced, you own a food truck, so
yeah,
of course you would vote for Mamdani.
Well, it's and it's all about like the bureaucratic nightmare that is the New York permitting process for food trucks.
Well, I gotta find that clip now. I think it's only on Instagram.
It might only be on Instagram.
Okay.
Presence that included viral videos featuring progressive politicians and pop culture celebrities. Cuomo, meanwhile, ran a more traditional campaign backed by big-name endorsements like former President Bill Clinton and a heavy rotation of TV ads. But controversy and scandal from his time as governor hung large over his candidacy. The result has Democrats around the country wondering what Mamdani's victory really says about the state and the future of the Democratic Party. Here to dive into the numbers behind Mamdani's historic night is NBC News national political correspondent Steve Kornacki, who is where else at the big board. So, Steve, how did he pull off this earthquake?
Yeah, Kristen, I mean, some really interesting numbers here when you take a look inside New York City. First of all, see the overall results here so far. Still some votes to be tapped.
Oh, yes. And we were talking about ranked choice voting on our last show, and Mamdani won on the first ballot. They didn't need to go through any sort of instant runoff stuff. Cuomo conceded because obviously he didn't get the 50%, but he didn't need to because Cuomo conceded. He knew that he was going to lose. And even if they did a runoff, Cuomo wasn't going to get the votes from the second ballot to overcome the lead.
Because the Lander people would have went for Mamdani.
Exactly.
So you were fucking cooked anyway, dude.
Yeah, the numbers just weren't going to be in Cuomo's favor regardless. And at 36%, there was no way he was going to make it to 50.
No.
Tabulated here. This won't be official for another week, but as you say, Cuomo's already conceded because look, Cuomo felt he needed to be ahead after this initial account. They've got that ranked choice system in New York. It was pretty clear that a lot of these other candidates who weren't really in contention when their votes got reallocated in ranked choice, a lot of them had been saying to their voters, if you don't vote for me, vote for Mamdani. So
And that's how you win a ranked choice vote election. When you get the people further down the ballot, if you're going to vote for me first, vote for this other guy second. And nobody wanted to vote for Cuomo. There were people actively campaigning. The other candidates were actively campaigning to not rank Cuomo because you could only rank the first 4, and there were 5 candidates.
Weren't they just like leaving him off?
Yeah, they were not ranking him.
Yeah.
So Cuomo knew that he was cooked. That's why he conceded. He knew it.
The question was, could Cuomo get far enough ahead last night to withstand that? He didn't even get ahead last night, so that's why this kind of became a foregone conclusion here. We'll break this down now into some of the neighborhoods, though, because I think that's where you really start to see this. Age. You heard Cuomo cite that young voters. He said Mamdani.
Hey, can you pull this up?
Well, with
or do you know where to find that? Or can I look to find that? How much money was spent on the election?
Oh, yeah, I can find that out. It's called opensecrets.org.
Well, I'll let you let the video play because you got that going. So go to Open Secrets.
Yeah, go to Open Secrets and just look up 2025 New York mayor primary.
There's a tale of 2 neighborhoods in New York City. This right here, Bay Terrace in Queens. This is the highest median age of any neighborhood in New York City. And look what happened here. The oldest voters. That was Cuomo's base here in this primary. He won by a better than 2-to-1 margin over Mamdani. Take a look now. Morningside Heights. This is up by Columbia University. This is the youngest median age of any neighborhood in New York City. And look what happened here. Mamdani won it. He won it overwhelmingly. Better than 2-to-1 against Cuomo. In fact, Cuomo came in 3rd place in this neighborhood. So that's a pattern you saw. The younger areas were big areas for Mamdani. Also, this is a big divide we talk about in American politics, and it's big in the Democratic Party. The education divide. Mamdani doing so much better with voters who had college degrees, or look at this one, advanced degrees. That is a graduate degree or more. Almost half of the people, the adults in Park Slope, Brooklyn, have at least a graduate degree. And look at this. Mamdani got
Yo, what's going on in Park Slope, Brooklyn? Why is everyone there have an advanced degree?
Because it's been gentrified. It's filled with graphics artists that are...
Oh, I see. They're all like English majors and art history majors. I get it.
Yes.
almost half the vote there. Cuomo barely registered, only 13%. A third candidate here, Brad Lander, got 34%. Other end of the education spectrum, more blue collar, working class, no college degree. Almost 90% of the folks in Fordham Heights have no college degree. Look at this. Cuomo, again, a landslide for Cuomo there, nearly 60% of the vote, the education divide. And then, of course, we look among non-white voters here. I thought this is interesting because key core traditional part of the Democratic Party base has been black voters. This neighborhood in Queens, 84% of the adult population is black, and Mario Cuomo, listen to me, Andrew Cuomo wins overwhelmingly against Miami. But
Can you pause real quick? He says Mario because Mario was the dad.
Yeah.
And the son was the governor, Cuomo. And then the other son is the one that you guys all know from TV.
Yeah. So Mario Cuomo, Steve Kornacki wrote a book about this called The Red and the Blue in the 90s during the Bill Clinton election in 92. Mario Cuomo was thought to be the front runner for the Democrats for president. And he was governor of New York, and he didn't want to do it because he didn't want to be president. He was happier being governor of New York. And he was a well-respected governor of New York, not corrupt, unlike his son, Andrew Cuomo, who did a lot of bad things. And
sure did.
But Mario Cuomo, better than Andrew Cuomo.
Run up similar numbers among Latino voters and Asian American voters. Taking a look here in Corona, Queens, highest Latino population, a share of the population. Look at this. It was almost a tie here. Cuomo narrowly winning. Cuomo's folks had been hoping, his campaign had been banking on something much bigger than that here. Asian American, highest concentration, Flushing, Queens, basically a tie right there as well. So that is that those two groups, the Latinos, Asian Americans, early in the campaign, the Cuomo people thought that was something of a firewall. That didn't hold up for them last night, and that was a very big key in Mamdani's victory.
Looking at a potential political realignment yet again, this time in the Democratic Party and the Democratic coalition. Steve Kornacki, thank you so much for those fascinating numbers and breakdown of the race.
So that's what's going on in New York City.
You want to see how his brother took the news?
Let's come to be reasonable. First, personal note, thank you very much for all the kind words about my brother. I didn't cover the mayoral election or even comment on it here at News Nation for obvious reasons. And my feelings about my brother and what he should do now, those are personal, not professional. So suffice it to say, I love and support my brother, and I'm not worried about him. Second, I get why many of you were surprised by the Democratic primary results in New York City. I was not.
Yo, the prompter is behind him.
Yeah, we can see the prompter.
Because at first I saw it on that screen over his right shoulder, and then I realized it's right there.
Well, you know what? That's like the control room, so they got everything there. So there's probably a prompter in front of him, too.
That's what I'm saying. But, bro, you can't have us... We can't see the prompter.
You're breaking the illusion.
Yeah.
Two reasons. One is that it was a low turnout race that people did not think could go the way it did. The enthusiasm and turnout energy.
Not trying to downplay it.
Every primary is a low turnout race. Every primary.
You say, look, I know this guy went from 1% all the way up, but
were overweighted for the more extreme candidates, as is often the case. And that's one of the problems with our binary system and with our closed primaries. And there were several radical choices in the mix. Not to mention, and contrary to what was sold by his opponents, Andrew's no establishment guy, and the party was not loving that he ran. But that's his case.
What?
Okay?
Andrew Cuomo, former governor of the state of New York, is not an establishment. I hate that shit, man.
Yeah.
I hate that. Oh, I'm not an establishment. I'm a fucking renegade. No one wants me to run.
No one totally anticipated that I would be running for a higher office.
Like, it made sense when Trump ran the first time around that, yeah, he's not an establishment candidate. He can run on that. He's never been in office before, and he's just a business guy.
But once you move into DC...
Yeah, once you've been president for 4 years, you're now an establishment candidate.
You is establishment, dog.
Andrew Cuomo was the establishment candidate. The only other guy who held elected office at that level, not even the New York City comptroller, Lander, like that's the second highest establishment candidate. And then what? Mamdani was a councilman for New York City,
assemblyman.
So like he still is a little bit an establishment. I don't know how long he's been in office, but
yeah,
if you if you've been in office, especially at a higher level, you're an establishment candidate. You can't run as some sort of fucking outsider. He ran the state of New York for 2 terms.
My unfinished sock with $2. Don't use teleprompters. Like and share instead. Thank you, my unfinished sock. That's a much better idea. Is Chris Cuomoing out as non-binary? Yes. Politically, he's not
The
binary.
second reason I wasn't surprised is actually worth talking about here because it affects the entire nation.
Here we go.
The Democratic Party is now officially in MAGA mode.
Oh my God. Get over yourself. Fucking MAGA mode.
Yeah, dude, they're in MAGA mode.
We're
gonna make these buses free for people so they can get up and down the fucking streets without having to fucking fish shekels out of their fucking pouch. They can just fucking get on the bus and get to where the fuck they're trying to go. So that way the bus doesn't have to wait fucking 2 minutes because this motherfucker is keep trying to put this fucking transfer in there. The motherfucker won't go, and now I'm about to fucking miss my connecting bus because this motherfucker. Now we ain't got to worry about that. Everybody just get the fuck on the bus. We out of here.
If Gutfeld did like an episode on this, it's totally going on Unboxed tonight.
I was about to say we are not watching that right now. Or Is Gina here? If Gina's here, then we're totally watching it.
Yeah, if
We
Gina's
are
here.
now on both sides in a period of extremism. The same way MAGA played with the prejudices of white nationalism, you're seeing an identical dynamic on the left with prejudice.
What's the identical narrative on the left for? I'm sorry. Let me check my notes here. Hold on. I got notes done. All right. Let me see. It says the Jews will not replace us. It says here in Charlottesville, a bunch of white dudes in khakis with tiki torches were chanting, "The Jews will not replace us."
I picked up a notepad. It's all stats and standard deviation. I'm a nerd.
Mine is black
Yeah,
with coffee stains on it.
literally like a standard deviation on there and some stats. So I don't get it. One Democratic Socialist wins a primary in New York City, and suddenly the whole Democratic Party has gone socialist. I heard the same thing on Fox, on the Fox 5 or whatever the fuck they call themselves. They did a segment where they're like, the Democrats are socialists now. Uh-oh. Like, guys, it's still the same Democratic Party. This dude, I don't want to disparage any conservatives out there. This dude is an outlier. He's a Democratic, so he's a Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
The Democratic Socialists, I don't know how often they win elections because there's no data on it, because they don't win that many elections. Because they are Democratic Socialism is a far more progressive view than most people have.
Right.
And
it's a more progressive view than what people have been exposed to. In the world, it's quite common. All over Europe, it's quite common. But over here, they're just like, no. Big business has to own everything and control everything.
I heard the word socialism in there, and I don't like that.
Socialist sounds like damn near communist. Hold on.
Pretty soon we're going to be communist country.
Greg.
Maybe. Tim is such a Sigma male to have a pocket full of standard deviation. Call it out, man.
But
they're playing your song. You got to dance, Tim. That's you.
Yeah. I love standard deviation and statistical significance.
My current and always music project is called The Deviants.
The Deviants.
This is like,
and our standards.
And I don't know why everyone is losing their goddamn minds about a dude winning a primary in New York City. Like,
this is the beginning of the end, Tim.
Yeah, this is the beginning of the even Kristen Welker was like the there's a shift in the Democratic alignment and there's going to be a new coalition, and like maybe like this could be the start of something, but is the DNC going to like go that way? Like, is the DNC going to be cool with that? Maybe.
But this is what I was going to say before. Remember when you were talking about Bernie? Remember when Bernie won everything and then the DNC decided, no, you didn't? They couldn't do that here.
No.
This is what's going to start happening across the fucking country. So establish it, Democrats. Be ready to get your LinkedIn profile together because you're going to be fucking in the workforce again. No one gives a shit about fucking, what's those guys? The lobbyists and all that shit. No one wants your consulting advice. Your fucking politics is bad. Nobody wants it. Nobody votes for it. You know what works? Making the fucking bus cheaper. Freezing rent. That's what works. Making
the halal food cheaper.
Oh, yeah. I'll play that now.
Oh, you have it?
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Halalflation. Today,
is there a way I can make this bigger?
I don't know.
I've never done an Instagram video on a computer.
I don't think I've done it. I think that's
is this okay? Are you guys okay? Let's check with. All right, if this is cool with y'all, we'll just keep going because maybe that might be a me thing. I gotta read the room. I might be freaking out. Is this better?
Even
there we go.
Even the first couple seconds of that we saw, his promo here is that he's gonna make halal food cheaper by eating it.
Hell no, he's taking down the fucking reserves. No!
We're gonna get to the bottom of this.
Okay.
How much does a plate of halal cost right now from this truck?
$10.
$10. Chicken over rice.
What the fuck? There's no volume?
$10?
Yeah.
Yo, Instagram, you don't have a fucking volume switch?
No, there's no Instagram volume.
Oh
It's
my
normal.
god.
So you gotta rely on the normalization of whatever audio is on there. Alice Steeram with $5. No, not $5, Mikey. What is it?
5 British pounds.
Did someone not call him a communist? Was it Trump by any chance, Mikey or Tim?
Pretty soon we're going to be communist country.
And by doing so, are ruling the world.
And also,
And the girls are fighting, aren't they?
When you're a street vendor, you have to.
we can't keep watching food videos. I just realized what was happening. I was like, I'm hungry. It's because of the food. We always end up on food.
Mikey, we just need a food talk podcast where we eat food so that we're not hungry. Like, we need to talk about food.
Yes.
And maybe like eat before we talk about the food, but still like
Have
there's
a
a
snack.
need. Yeah, there's a need.
I'm like low key. Maybe that's how we get rid of the manosphere. Food.
Yeah. Good food.
Good food and recipes.
And recipes. That
Cook with your favorites, Mikey and Tim.
Yeah. Chat, come up with a name for our new cooking podcast.
I have a name. It's been given to me by somebody else. I'll type it in the private chat. It's so good. He hasn't done anything with the idea, and he was kind of a dick to me last time. So I am not above taking this. Yeah, there it is. Tell me that's not it.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I told you.
That's a
Pay
good one.
for the food, the plate.
Just turn your phones or things down. I can't adjust the volume.
Yeah,
I'm
we
sorry.
can't control it.
How much do you have to pay for your permit?
Before it was $22K.
$22 fucking $1,000 for a permit to sell fucking halal food is crazy.
Holy shit! All right, this is a yearly permit in New York City. $22,000. A yearly permit in the town I used to live in for my food truck was $350.
That's like $1,900 a month.
That is insane.
Why?
Insane. That's his entire profit margin. That's why it had to go up. That's his entire profit margin.
17,000.
How much does a license cost if you get it from the city?
I think 400.
And who are you paying?
The permit owner.
You're not paying the city.
No.
You pay.
So here's the scam. Like, I didn't understand this at all because I don't live in New York. So if you want a food truck, right? You're this guy and you have a food truck and you want to sell, I don't know, grilled cheeses. Just throw something random out there.
Something random.
You go to the city and you say, hi, I'd like a permit to sell my grilled cheeses to the beautiful citizens of New York City. They'll say, great, $400 for a permit. Go ahead and fill out your paperwork. And then they let you sit there.
By the way, the wait is 5 years.
Correct. But what you can do is find somebody who already does have a permit and they can let you use their permit, but then you'll have to just pay them. And that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers are, oh my God.
It's probably a percentage of their revenue that they're paying, not like a flat fee. Like if I don't know if it could be either or, but my guess is it's like 10% of their revenue or whatever it is.
Anybody remember sharecropping?
Yeah.
Same shit.
Pay the permit owner $22,000 just so you can sell this food.
Yes.
And who is this?
A random guy.
Have you ever applied for a permit?
Yeah. Best answer.
Who is this? Some fucking guy. I don't know.
Some fucking guy.
I'm applied and no come anything.
It's long wait. Number 3,800 something.
3,800? After 2 years, he's still number 3,800. What number did he start at?
That is a very good question. That is a very good. Ooh.
Dinner in the bin. That's a good one.
Ooh, the Binners Club. Dinner party. Binner party of 2.
Here's your number 3,800.
Yes. The Binner Bell.
These are the 4 bills that are sitting in the city council right now.
So we got street vendor reform package, access to business licensing, repeal criminal liability, services for vendors, and reform sitting rules.
Which would give these vendors their own permits and make your halal more affordable. But Eric Adams hasn't said a single word about them.
Because he's busy right now.
This is how you fucking win the people. You go to like, oh, you eat here? Would you like it to be cheaper?
If you own the permit, then how much would you charge for the plate?
$7. $8.
Would you rather pay $10 for a plate of halal?
Now this guy is a street meat connoisseur. This is a big... This motherfucker is not from New York. I can guarantee it. That motherfucker, judging by the thickness of his skull and neck, is a Midwesterner, baby. He's one of ours. That's a corn-fed white boy right there.
For $8.
$8. I think $8 is the way to go.
If I was the mayor, I'd be working with city council from day 1 to make halal $8 again.
Oh, how would you pay?
Tastes like $10, but it should be 8.
What an ad.
What an ad.
What an ad. Oh, let me
Take it for me.
Damn it. Tim Bellum. I was like, I'll just push it again to stop it, but it's not set up like that. It would have just kept going. 4, 4, 4, me, baby. Tim Bellum, 5 British pounds. Did you see Louis Rossman's video on the lien against his company? Who the hell is Louis Rossmann? And why are they leaning his shit?
Yeah.
Don't be
I don't know who Louis Rossmann is.
Lean with it, rock with it. Such a child of the
But
90s.
I mean, I watched a few more ads that he did, and they're all great. They're all great, instantly viral reels. One, he said he started with like his staff told him that he does too much stuff with his hands, so he's going to keep his hands in his pockets the whole ad. And then whenever he takes his hands out, someone yells at him about it. Like, it's all gold. Like, Cuomo was running a campaign, I assume, from like 2005, and this guy ran a social media campaign for 2025.
There's a lot here, Tim. Which one are you talking about?
But I mean, I'm glad he won because the people in New York City are fed up with Eric Adams, and I can't imagine that they would want fucking Andrew Cuomo to be fucking mayor of New York City.
To strut around like a peacock, fucking taking favors and bribes and fucking touching up everybody who comes into his fucking office. I'm Italian. I get to just fucking grab ass. I'm Italian. I just fucking sniff your fucking behind your ear on your fucking neck and kiss it because I'm Italian. No, you're a fucking creep. You can't just go kissing up on other people's fucking wives and girlfriends or single women. They don't want you, you nasty old pervert. Put your fucking dirty, crusty lips to yourself. Some fucking guy
posted in the chat. I asked for a falafel and the guy gave me 22 grand.
It was great.
That's a great YouTube name, by the way. Some fucking guy.
You know who that is.
Oh, yeah, I know who that is. But I would keep that. I would keep that and just use it everywhere. Some fucking guy.
He has many. Which one am I looking at? Who said it? Was it Tim? Which? Because I did see one about him having a fight with New York. Is it recent? I think you're a mod. Just drop the link.
Yeah, just throw a link in the chat.
Oh, this is he's a right to repair guy.
Oh, right to repair. That's a big fucking thing.
I think it's don't get me started. But right to repair is essentially the movement in which people should have the technical ability to manipulate and repair their own gear, whether it's if you have like a pocket knife, but all the tools, like they use security screws for everything, and you can't work on anything, and they have everything's designed in a way where you have to send it back. You can't work on it yourself or else you'll break it or damn. Like they intentionally make you destroy the product to do it. So that shit sucks.
There were court cases for Apple was doing this, or they continue to do this. They got sued over it because their parts are coded to go into that specific phone, and if you take that part out, the phone's not going to work anymore, even if you replace the part that was broken, because it's not the same code. And they did put together like a repair program, but you got to pay like $100 for the tools, to rent the tools,
and you only get them for 21 days, and then you have to send them back. And if they don't come back on time or damaged, it's $600.
Yeah. John Deere also got sued by farmers for their right to repair, because John Deere is saying you can't fix your own tractors anymore. You have to bring them to a John Deere dealership.
Every piece is now encoded, and so that if your machine turns on, connects to the satellite, because if you guys didn't know this already, most tractors have GPS, which is way better than your GPS. It's like within like 10 inches of accuracy. Yeah. Because they literally design their route for how their crops are going to get either planted or harvested, and they sit in there and fucking hang out on TikTok.
We got a couple of super chats. SG. 5.
Oh, wrong one.
I don't know that. I don't know that.
Wrong. I was like, no.
5 British pounds. Apparently,
British pounds.
The U.S. Federal Housing Finance Agency issues order to use Bitcoin and crypto as mortgage collateral.
What? That's a horrible idea.
Don't do that. That's terrible. Why would anyone stop it? U.S. government, stop it.
It's not gonna work.
Alice Theorem, 5 British pound super chat. It's the link to the video that he was referencing.
Well, let's do his channel or whatever. Like I found that, but here, let's do this one.
You don't have anything like with child support or anything?
No children, no ma'am. No, I just have a repair business. Yeah, so it says debtor Rossman Repair Group. So Rossman Repair Group has no children.
Okay.
Maybe the people that work. Other than that.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. So I just recently figured out that my business had a lien placed on it by the state of New York, which is very strange to me because I've never received any sort of mail correspondence, email correspondence, phone correspondence, and on my portal at tax.ny.gov, it literally says that I owe them no money. So this...
Oh, you thought zero meant nothing? Ha! That was a trick.
Was brought to my attention by my banker. Ever since I started my nonprofits, I now have over $1 million in the bank. This is not my money. I do not get to spend it on me. It is not money I give myself in any form as a salary. But since I'm the director of that nonprofit and I open the account, my bank thinks it's my money. So they kind of treat you nice. You know, you get a personal business banker that calls you and asks how's it going, that tries to be nicer to you than they would be to a standard bank customer that doesn't have over $1 million in the bank. And this banker doing very, very nice job.
If I can do a very, very short rant, I went into the bank that I bank with, and I went to go talk to a banker because I wanted to set up Mikey Tim Productions, and I needed some bank accounts. There was 2 ladies in there. The line was like 6 cars deep, and they didn't even turn around for like 2.5 minutes to even acknowledge that I had walked into the bank. Like they were just so swamped and understaffed. And then I was like, well, can I talk to a banker? She's like, well, they're not here. Do you want to leave a number? I was like, I'm trying to give y'all business. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is not flipping on its head. You should be so sorry, sir. What if I was coming in there with my $1 billion corporation and y'all don't have fucking time for me? So I left.
Yeah.
You don't got time for me. I ain't got time for you.
It should be a help me, help you kind of situation.
I'm trying to bring money into the bank. Hello.
Job for me just so happened to point out that my business had a lien on it. You can see that lien over here, which again seemed really strange because I don't have anything that shows up. When I log into my back end of my New York State tax system for my business and personally, I get this. So the state of New York is telling me I don't owe them money, but they've placed a lien on me, which I've never been notified of via mail, email, phone call, in person, nothing. Rather than ask me for this very inconsequential amount of money, or even just put it in my portal that I owe them that money, they have placed a lien on my business. So I decided to call them to try to figure out why there was a lien on my business. You can probably imagine how me trying to figure this out went. 2 years ago, I was fined for something. When I asked what the rules were to avoid that fine, they could not tell me. When I tried to pay the fine, they did not accept my money. And when I finally went to the hearing, it took them over 3.5 hours to determine what the fine actually was. I was also audited by New York State about 3 months after I published those videos, where they were trying to tell me for 1.5 years that I would owe them over $40,000 a quarter for a very, very long period of time. And they wound up saying, oh, wait, my bad, bro. You actually only owe us $5,700 or so. This went about the way that you can imagine it went. So I would like to actually share the process with all of you, because there are many channels out there that will show the glitz and the glamour and Times Square, and you'll see Casey Neistat going back and forth and all the cool parts in New York City, but very few people are willing to show you the reality of what it is like to try to run it.
I heard an earth-shattering kaboom.
Oh.
And then her and the cat are in there like...
business there, or to try and build something there. And on this channel, on this very, very sponsor unfriendly channel, we try to show you the reality of life, whether it's fixing a motherboard, going to a legislative hearing, or just running a business in New York City or New York.
Well, hopefully that'll be over soon.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully the new mayor of New York City, once, you know, by the way, this is just a primary election. He still has to go through the general election against Eric Adams and whoever the Republicans decide to throw up, if it's not also Eric Adams.
Or Cuomo. Cuomo might run independent.
That's really going to fuck over Adams and Cuomo, though, because they're going to split the moderate vote while the progressives are all going to vote for Mamdani. So that's going to be their problem. Like, and of course, it's going to be a much wider electorate because it's a general election. So there'll be more votes. And I don't think that Eric Adams is going to win because he's just corrupt as fuck.
And it's obvious.
And he makes it so there's criminal cases that were brought against him until his new best friend, Donald Trump, bailed him out. So,
or Hoban.
Yeah.
Is it the aid video from a year ago about the mortgage crisis? Is that right? Tim, you've never seen Aid, have you? Aid Thompson?
I don't think so.
Aid Thompson is probably one of my favorite cursors in the English language. His grotesque speech is perfectly timed and always appropriate.
Up.
All right, here we go. Lay it, smack it to me, big boy.
Well, good morning, you sexy motherfuckers. Yeah, that's right, I said it. Sexy. Even you. Well, the
He's turned me on.
BBC presenter story has kind of turned into something else now, hasn't it? It was a conversation about, sordid activity online, possible underage minors doing it. Now it's become a story about the Sun's responsibility or lack thereof in terms of publishing a story. Not really, apparently not really backing it up a whole lot. It's a discussion about tabloid culture now. So let's move the dial. Let's talk about something again that's going to affect each and every one of us. Mortgages. Now, you might not think that the mortgage crisis is going to affect you, whether you are somebody's mum or dad, or you're just incredibly fortunate and you don't have a mortgage any longer. You've managed to pay that shit off. But somebody somebody within the immediate 3 or 5 or 9 people within your close circles, somebody is going to get touched by this shit. Maybe it's your best friend. Maybe they're renting a place because they've struggled. They haven't got that family money to get them on the ladder. Maybe they're renting a place. Well, their landlord who owns that flat and bought it on a buy-to-let mortgage, their mortgage is about to explode. And so your best friend's rent is about to increase by what, £600-700 a month? Maybe you're one of these witless, insufferable boomers who spend...
Our rent is up $500 since we moved in.
their lives on the Daily Mail comments section going, whoa, you've
$500 in 5 years.
had your fun, a decade of cheap mortgages. Now it's time to get some return on our savings. We worked hard for this house, and I could do with it a little bit. Well, okay, it's going to affect you too, because your son or daughter or, people of that generation, they're going to get turfed out. Their landlords are going to double their rent. They won't be able to afford it. And guess who they're going to come and live with? Well, we bought this place back in the 90s when there were still such things as 100% mortgages and social mobility. Right. And now it's all paid off? Yeah, no, that's right. As one of the key beneficiaries of the housing crisis, the lack of house building, there's been such demand on places like this that the value of it's just skyrocketed. So now, on paper, I am actually a millionaire. Great. That's cool, man. I'm really happy for you. And how are your kids doing? Oh, don't get me started on these kids today. These bloody millennials. They just want it all handed to them on a plate. I worked hard for this place. And no, my daughter's trying to move back home with her 2 kids. But no, I said no. I worked hard. Boundaries, love. I like having a games room. I like having a study. So I'm really sorry, but it is a no.
Yeah, what about my second drawing room? Did anyone fucking... I mean, I have to grab the property and...
Take it for me!
From me. So yeah, she's so bloody minded though, so pig-headed. She's voluntarily, spitefully living in a tent.
Right, and you have another kid?
Oh, my son, he threw himself off a building last week. But at least I got the house. A lot of people don't have a house. At least I can have the wake here.
Yeah, that's where we're at. I love Aid.
All right, Mikey, I got one more news item for you.
For me? For...
Take it for me!
Stop it.
More have mercy.
I'll enhance this a little bit here.
Enhance.
So
just hit hold control and then scroll.
Hold control and scroll. Oh, look at that. So Mikey, it's coming up on the end of another exciting season of the United States Supreme Court.
They have a theme, right? The Supreme Court, they all walk out like with the Bulls theme. You're starting forward for your Supreme Court.
The Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, John Roberts.
They all the conservatives march out like the Cobras from fucking Dodgeball. Except they all Nazi salute because they're Nazis now.
Yeah,
that's where we're at.
So they have one day left to decide on some of these cases here. And one of them, it's a biggie. Birthright citizenship.
What do they decide? Are we citizens?
They're going to decide whether or not, people should be given citizenship by birthright, because it's in the Constitution.
Says that?
Yes, the Constitution says that. It's a longstanding provision, as understood by generations of Americans, including legal scholars on the left and the right, is that anyone born on U.S. soil is an American citizen with a few minor exceptions, including people who are children of diplomats.
Yeah, diplomats.
So
your fucking king, UK, can't fucking come over here, squire a fucking brat, and then that brat become president. No, not like that. Nice try. We wrote that in there just in case you would try it.
But Mikey, that's not the only thing they're going to rule on tomorrow. We also have whether conservative religious parents can opt their elementary age school children out of LGBTQ themed books in class.
Yeah, like the Bible.
Yeah, like the Bible. Also, a long-running litigation over whether congressional districts in Louisiana are lawful. If you've seen a congressional district map of Louisiana, it is wild. They have some of the most gerrymandered fucking bullshit I've ever seen.
Grabbing it. Ho!
Yeah.
Ho! Yo, very bad map. Oh my God.
I think this is specifically challenging the 6th district.
Look at the 6th district. Yo, that is not normal. So here's how this shit is supposed to work, right? So let's say Louisiana is our case. Like this 1st district looks fine. 2, it's kind of nestled in, but essentially you want to bundle groups of people together based on obvious geographical containments, right? Like these people live on this side of town. They probably feel this sort of like the East End and the North side. And okay, that makes sense. And this statewide, that would make sense. What is going on with District 6?
I think District 6 is a packing district. I think they're packing certain people into that district.
Well, let me posit you this, Tim. Let's say I'm in, I don't know, District 4.
Okay.
And I'm really having a problem. Like, what is that, Shreveport? Yeah, I'm really having a problem getting the vote over here in Shreveport. What if I just put all of Shreveport into District 6? That way I don't have to fucking, convince those voters anymore. I don't have to worry about losing that part of the election because magically the District 6 now reaches up into Shreveport, getting rid of all those pesky liberal voters who would stop me from winning this district.
Look at how thin District 6 gets. It's like almost the width of the highway in some places.
Right.
That's crazy.
Riding line, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look at one.
Got some Baton Rouge in there too.
And you could, oh shit, didn't mean to do that. And you babe, sorry. What am I trying? Oh my God. Because I mean, it even splits the county.
Yeah.
Usually people just like go with like the edges of the county and just like make the blocks out. They have split the county here. What is it? I don't know if that's Ontario County or Caddo, Bossier. So, I mean, this is bad.
Yeah. And so this is, wow. This is a very
That's where fucking what's his face is from.
Yeah.
Johnson's from I think he's from the 4th district. He's from the 4th district.
Let's find out. Mike Johnson.
I think he's from
I called him Milk Johnson.
That's his real name.
Oh. Speaker of the House. He is from Mike Johnson. What district? Yeah, Louisiana's 4th district. Mike Johnson.
Yeah.
Wanted people out of his district for sure.
Shreveport and Bossier City is black people. I have a friend who lives in Shreveport. You know who it is. I'll tell you off the air.
Okay. But yeah, Alexandria too. And Baton Rouge.
Mm-hmm. Let's put all them niggers in one district, and that way we can ignore it. Like, that's crazy.
So that is one of the things the Supreme Court is going to rule on tomorrow. Another one, a law enacted in Texas that imposes age restrictions for using adult websites.
Uh-oh. You know what that means?
Texas trying to ban Pornhub.
No, you know what that? Hey, if you got any money, put your money in VPNs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because they're about to skyrocket them prices on you fools. You thought it was going to be $10 a month forever?
Another case they're ruling on is challenging the Affordable Care Act's Preventative Care Task Force. They
do.
Why preventative care? Why are they're trying to whittle down the Affordable Care Act to nothing.
Right.
And so far they've been largely ineffective at it. Like they got rid of the mandate.
Right.
Where you had to pay a fine if you didn't have health insurance. But that's it.
Which raised prices, by the way.
Yeah. Preventative care. They don't want preventative care. What the fuck is wrong with people?
Just be sick.
Just be sick all the time.
The U.S. Preventative Task Force is a scientifically independent volunteer panel of national experts in disease prevention and evidence-based medicine. The task force works to improve the health of people nationwide by making evidence-based recommendations about clinical preventative services.
Cool. So we don't want that.
Nope, can't have that. There's a black woman right here on the front of the website. And she's got some sort of stethoscope and white coat.
We can't have that. We can't have any of that.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
It's DEI.
And the last is a Federal Communications Commission program that subsidizes phone and internet services for underserved areas.
Trump phone.
I saw the Trump phone thing.
It's for the Trump phone. They got to, pave the way.
But yeah, those are the cases that they said they're going to rule on tomorrow. Most important is, I think, the ones near the top here: birthright citizenship, for some reason, books in schools, and
no books in schools.
Gerrymandering.
Luckily, Elon decided to stick his tiny weird chode into politics in Wisconsin. They're probably going to fix their shit.
Yeah, probably.
Now that they got the Supreme Court to rule on that case, and the Supreme Court is not bought by Trump.
The Supreme Court did issue a ruling today. Trying to figure out where it was.
Who done it?
Here we go. The Supreme Court issued a ruling today on South Carolina defunding Planned Parenthood. If my internet will cooperate, they know. There we go. The Supreme Court on Thursday ruled for South Carolina in its efforts to defund Planned Parenthood, concluding that individual Medicaid patients cannot sue to enforce their right to pick a medical provider. 6-3, ideological lines. So I guess we can defund Planned Parenthood.
I mean, they're going to be privately funded anyway, so you know what I mean? Like, this is the thing. Like, they keep trying to, well, I will bend the rules to this. Like, well, then we won't follow the rules. How do you like them apples?
So it's specifically for a federal program for low-income people that is administered by the states. It prevents individual patients from enforcing their right to choose their preferred healthcare provider. The ruling could also give a boost to other Republican-led states that choose to follow suit. So this is what they call like a test case for other court battles. It sets a precedent in favor of obviously defunding Planned Parenthood and stopping states from having to provide medical services through Planned Parenthood. It's just another way of fucking taking down our healthcare system, whatever small amount of it we still have.
And news not covered today. Leonard Peltier is free.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's good. Biden commuted his sentence, so he finally got out now. And he was
his sentence. He didn't get out till June.
Right.
Wow.
After 50 years, he was accused of killing federal agents. But nope, he is out now.
Also, closing arguments for the Diddy case are happening.
Oh, I gotta get this lady. Oh, we gotta cut. All right, we got one more.
All right.
Okay, let me see. This is so rich. So rich. like I can't even believe how rich this is. Let's see here. How do I want to talk about this? You know, we'll go the easy way. We'll go the easy way. And we're gonna check out a friend of the show, The Humanist Report. Because he found a good way of getting her specific clips together. And I don't have time to do that right now. So everybody, check out The Humanist Report. Oh my God.
Found the dumbest Republican in the country. And
this is true. This lady might be the dumbest person I've ever seen.
No, it's not Marjorie Taylor Greene or Randy Fine. It's actually Representative Kat Kamik of Florida's 3rd Congressional District. And the reason why I can definitively say...
I think that's the thumbnail, no?
No, it's not Marjorie Taylor Greene or Randy Fine. It's actually Representative Kat Kamik of Florida's 3rd Congressional...
There it is.
There it is. Right there.
Thank you. Hold for the smile for the birdie.
That is the perfect picture. They
Thanks,
said it
lady.
couldn't be done.
The perfect picture doesn't exist.
Congressional District. And the reason why I can definitively say that she is unquestionably the dumbest Republican in the country is because she herself, who's anti-abortion, needed an abortion, but hypocrisy aside, she is blaming the left for making it more difficult for her to get the abortion that she needed. Not Republicans.
What?
She's worse than Chemtrails lady.
What?
Let me repeat myself just in case you think you misheard me. She says that it is the left's fault that her doctor was afraid to give her the health care that she needed to save her life. Not Republicans. Not Ron DeSantis, who signed the law that affected her personally.
Of course, this is Florida.
It's the left. I'll give you a moment to let that sink in. Yeah. Now, the pregnancy in question took place last year, but the reason why we're talking about this now is because she opened up about it in an interview with the Wall Street Journal titled "Life-Threatening Pregnancy Collided with Florida's Abortion Politics." And the author of the article, Katie Stech-Farrick, explains, a month into Florida's 6-week abortion ban, Republican Representative Kat Kamik went to the ER with a deadly ectopic pregnancy and struggled to get prompt care.
All right, all of you men out there who say you know women so well, what's an ectopic pregnancy?
Ooh, I unfortunately know the answer to that.
I know the answer to that as well. And I would love for all these men, manly men who think that they should decide what happens with a woman's body. I mean, they're not in the chat now because, of course, they're not. They're busy digging a ditch somewhere, doing manly stuff. But when you guys see this later and you hop in the comment section, go ahead. Tell me what an ectopic pregnancy is. Put the answer down before you, pause the video here and then go put in your answer. Now resume and let's see how wrong you are.
She blames the left. So, yeah. Kat? Can I call you Kathy? Is that your full name? Maybe it's Kathy, but I'll call you Kathy. Kathy, how exactly did you come to this brilliant conclusion? This is...
I think her name should be Cat Puke.
Wild. On one hand, I feel bad because she went through this obviously traumatizing experience, but to come out of that with somehow less clarity than before she went in with it is a little bit puzzling to me, just on a human level. Now, before we dive in and see how
obligatory air horn,
the fuck she twisted herself into a pretzel to blame the left for this, I just want to point out that this is somebody who is very, very anti-abortion. Even though she's not personally responsible for the law in Florida that affected her, since she's not a state representative, she is a national lawmaker. She has been doing everything in her power to make reproductive health care more difficult for women across the country. As difficult as it is in Florida, arguably. I say this because she is a co-chair of an anti-abortion committee in Congress, and she received an A+ rating for her anti-abortion record from the Susan B. Anthony Forced Birther Group, who
until she needed it.
Yeah. And that's a whole thing among the pro-lifers. The anti-abortion movement is not my abortion. Other people's abortions, they can't have them. But when I need one, I get to have it. And it's so hypocritical and monstrous to assume that this lady here, her abortion is more important than someone else's, because her shit was life-threatening, but not other people's.
No, they're fine. They're just doing it for, because they're sluts. They're sluts. That's the underlying message that they're trying to say when they want to go after all these abortion rights is stop being a slut. If you weren't a slut, you wouldn't need an abortion. No, you could be fucking married 10 years and need a fucking abortion because pregnancies require procedures sometimes. And just because you want to call it and label it as the slut procedure, that's not what it is.
Yeah. And like, listen, wrapping this all around to the beginning of the show, I empathize with her. I empathize with the fact that she had an ectopic pregnancy, ectopic pregnancy, and she had to go through all that. I understand how traumatizing that is, because it is absolutely,
it's the worst,
world shattering,
literally the worst.
And no one should have to go through that. But the fact that she's able to get that medical care and she wants to deny that for other people, that makes her a monster, because she knows what it's like.
Please read this.
She can't twist herself into a pretzel equals what explains how she got pregnant. I see.
That pretzel twist is what got her in this situation in the first place. Tim Ballum with a 2 British pounds.
And
thank you.
Tim Ballum is absolutely correct. It wasn't an abortion. It was a medical treatment.
They're all medical.
Yeah. Well, it's a medical treatment that a doctor says this has to happen right now. Otherwise, you may not live.
Right. Pregnancy and childbirth is high risk both to mother and the child. I was in the room and it got touch and go there for a minute. And we did everything right. No, what do they call it? Gestational diabetes. Nothing like that. Her sugar levels were great the whole time. Her stress was down the whole time. Her liquids were up the whole time. And we still had to do emergency C-section.
Yeah.
You don't know. And if things go south in another way, the clock is already, the ticker is already started. Like at that point, decisions have to be made. And when the doctor comes in and pulls you to the side and say, hey, these are the decisions that you might have to make.
Yeah.
And to take that conversation away when her fucking heart rate is at 180, you want to take that fucking conversation away from me? You've lost your fucking mind.
Or you go for what you assume is a routine checkup.
Yeah.
The doctor says you need to go to the hospital
right now.
Otherwise, you will die. And having to take that away from someone to where the doctor doesn't get to make that decision. The state the state gets to make that decision.
This bitch wants to make the decision. Whilst she gets her medical treatment herself.
Yeah. The fact that the state that you live in depends, it depends on the state that you live in, the kind of emergency medical care that you can get is wild. And I feel bad for everyone who lives in a state where it has been made illegal and they don't have a choice because of their elected representatives. And
you saw, we talked about it last week in Mount Prospect, Illinois, the motherfuckers, because abortions are safe and legal here. The fucking cop there was fucking going through the database, looking at the license plate readers to see who was coming in from out of state to get care.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
She absolutely is the most radical when it comes to the issue of protecting life and young children, particularly those most vulnerable, those in the womb. And we know, as you pointed out, there are 9 states that have no restrictions on abortion.
She didn't come out publicly about this yet.
Oh, wow.
During the time of this clip, she hadn't come out publicly.
Abortion. And across the country, we have several states, over a dozen, that have state ballot initiatives like Florida to have that same issue, unrestricted abortion, be put on the ballot, the Constitution. So it's very...
What?
It's not unrestricted. I don't know. I will
never...
The
ballot, the Constitution? What are you saying?
The state constitution. And that is a thing. It's in Connecticut state constitution that abortion is codified into law. That's how they did it. So it's not easily changed. If conservatives had gotten control of the state legislature, it would take them 6 years to remove it.
10.5 British pounds. She got a Republican to prescribe abortion drugs, didn't she? Someone's reading ahead.
But putting that right into your state constitution is a way to ensure that it will last through changes in politics.
Yeah. Alistair in the chat says, Mikey, been there. My friend, my wife had to have an emergency C-section for both my boys. Both were okay. Good. And then you don't even give the fucking women any time off.
Yeah, that's another thing. Connecticut's one of the few states that does have like paid family leave. We pay a little bit from our paychecks into a paid family leave fund, and you get, I think it's only like 6 to 8 weeks, but it's something.
You need something to help bridge the gap.
Very, very scary that we have someone who is a contender for commander-in-chief who is not willing to take a stand for women, for the health of women. As we all know, abortion is not health care, and unrestricted.
I'm sorry, what did you say? I'm sorry, what was that?
For the health of women. As we all know, abortion is not health care, and unrestricted abortion.
It's not health care when other people need it. Got it.
Right. But not her. It's healthcare for her.
It is healthcare for her only.
Very dangerous. So it's really it's very discouraging to hear someone, particularly a woman, talk about it with such glib.
So months after she learned about the dangers of restrictions on reproductive health care, she was on Fox News talking about how dangerous unrestricted abortions are, and even said that abortion is not health care. Well, it sure the fuck felt like healthcare to you when you needed one, right, Kat? So much so that you were willing to call the governor on the phone to get him to greenlight the procedure for you. How do you come to this conclusion?
There's the plot twist. The fucking doctor didn't want to fucking perform or give her the medicine because he was worried about fucking prosecution, right? He was worried about some sort of legal remedy from the state for providing this prescription. She called the fucking governor and said, hey, can you clear this for me? Can you let them know that they'll be okay? Can you call them and let them know it's cool for me? You used your fucking position to get even more preferential treatment. 100 miles away, brain dead woman left on life support for an additional 2 months so it could deliver a 1-pound baby. Where was her fucking outrage then?
Yeah.
It's fucking unbelievable.
It's honestly like completely enraging that, like, first of all, that you have to call the governor of your state to be like, I need this emergency medical procedure.
Everybody should just do that then, right?
Yeah. It's disgusting.
How do you not reevaluate your position? Now, again, keep in mind, at this point in time, she hadn't revealed to the public that she had an abortion, but she just had one a couple of months ago, and she's already shitting on abortion.
For our viewers to hear that story.
As you know, Rachel, this is a personal issue for me. My mom, she had suffered a stroke in her late 20s while
oh my God, this is the best line.
Pregnant with my sister, and was told that she would never be able to have children safely again. And when she found herself pregnant with me many years later, against the advice of her doctors and her own family, she carried me to term, and she was under a tremendous amount of pressure to abort me. So I am grateful for her bravery today. Oh, I'll get emotional. It's just a tough issue because so many women are in difficult circumstances, and there's so many wonderful pregnancy centers out there that can help them. And when we see things like amendment,
and the pregnancy centers market themselves as women's health clinics, they're religious fucking compounds where they trap the women in there, get their phone away from them, and then they guilt the shit out of them. And they say, "Don't you think adoption is better? Don't you think you should just keep the baby? Don't you think no one's medically trained. There is no medical staff. They'll wear scrubs and all that shit, and they're just fucking preachers."
Yeah.
It's fucking horrible. And if the atheist ever did something like that, or the Muslims.
Right.
I mean, if any other religious sect would set up these honeypots to trap, I mean, you want to talk about a teenager in fucking crisis. You know, like they fucking will have a meltdown because Billy broke up with them and then like block them on Instagram. Like that is earth shattering. But to have an unexpected pregnancy as a teen and then to go to this place for help and it just be her, a whole building full of hers that are just going to try to guilt the shit out of them for wanting to save their lives. Okay. And this is the clip where she says she's a survivor of abortion. That's what she said. Just a second. I'll run it back. She said she is a survivor of abortion because people told her mom, hey, don't have any more kids. And she did it anyway. But then they're like, oh, well, this could be risky. You might have to abort if things get bad. Well, because my mom didn't, I'm a survivor. Bitch, everybody a survivor of abortion then.
Yeah.
Literally everybody.
It's just a tough issue because so many women are in difficult circumstances and there's so many wonderful pregnancy centers out there.
And stop putting all that lipstick all over your fucking mouth with your baby ass, chimpanzee ass, no lip having ass face. You look crazy. You look like a goddamn Pokemon. Don't do that. They put the extra on to make it look like they got full lips. You don't have full lips. You're just painting your fucking side of your face.
That can help them. And when we see things like Amendment 4 on the ballot.
See, look, it don't even connect. Look, don't nobody have lips like that. The fuck is wrong with you? You look crazy.
In Florida, where there's no parental consent, there is no physician required to perform these abortions, meaning that any healthcare provider in the state of Florida, which could be a chiropractor, a dental hygienist, an acupuncturist, it is absurd.
Which is also not true.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Just not true. There's registered nurses, and sometimes there are doctors. So you're just fucking lying.
Yeah, it's just a fucking lie.
What this language does, it's all funded by George Soros. And
oh, so now it's the Jews, and we're back to it. And remind me, everybody, that these fucking kids at a fucking college campus are the real fucking anti-Semites. This bitch just fucking said it's because of the goddamn Jews. And no one is going to light her up for it. That's fucking bullshit, dude.
It is.
Because real anti-Semitism is fucking out there. It is fucking apparent. That's fucking anti-Semitic. You hate women and you hate Jews. But I'm the fucking bad guy. Because I don't think that we should be bombing other countries. This is bullshit. This lady is a fucking racist. This lady's a fucking eugenicist. And just because she fucking painted her fucking face, you're still a monster.
And his folks that support these liberal policies, this is something that women across the country need to understand. We have struggled to really get true women's health care and maternal health care in this country. Mm-hmm. And the policies of Kamala Harris and the left, they are not focused on that. They are absolutely radical when it comes to abortion. And every Democrat in the last Congress, I have to remind viewers, they voted for abortion up until the day of natural delivery. That to me is...
See? And this is
a fucking lie.
I hate this lady. I hate this lady.
Absolutely unacceptable.
I'm sorry, but listen, I am not going to feel sympathy for a 37-year-old woman who's making it seem like
she's only 37. Thereby.
To live with the trauma of her mom being pressured to get an abortion. As if she's reliving it every single day. Kat, you have to stop. Okay, listen. I'm the same.
And Kat, you weren't there for that conversation?
Yeah.
What are you feeling?
Same exact age as Kat Kamek. So let me level with her for a minute. Kat, let me just talk to you directly. Like you're a mom, my mom was told that when she was pregnant with me, it was higher risk because she was older when she had me. So I guess you could say that by your logic, I'm also kind of an abortion survivor in a way. And I've got to tell you, I don't have the same opinion as you do. When I was a fetus, it's not like I was listening to the conversation with my mom and her doctor and was on pins and needles.
Ooh, what are they going to decide? Ugh.
Oh,
I'm mad now.
yep.
I'm mad now. I don't like it when people go after women. I don't like it.
Well, and especially like all the right-wing lies about what the actual policy is around abortion, that you can have an abortion right up until the day of. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen.
No.
Most abortions take place within like what, the first trimester, and then the slope gets very small after that, because usually it's only like an emergency medical situation.
I'm just scrolling through headlines because every time we fucking end the show, something else happens. Every time.
I haven't seen anything crazy happening on the news. Just people saying, "Damn, Billy."
Oh, here we go. Chat, please join Reagan Light, Daily Blase, All Shorts, Random Scottish History for the roundtable at 8 p.m. UK time. Here's the link. When is that? That's in half an hour.
That's in 30 minutes. So chat, go there.
Should we can we redirect? Let me see if I don't know.
If they're not live, I don't know if we can.
Oh, right.
But do that thing.
Click that link and then bookmark it for when it and hit the subscribe and hit the bell notification so that you know when it goes live. It'll just give you a little zzz on your phone.
Subscribe.
You'll have a little action.
Do you have any like puppies or kittens or dolphin videos for us?
A little palate cleanser.
A little palate cleanser, because
send everybody away with. Oh,
you know what the problem is that like a lot of people go through those experiences, and by the right saying that like what you went through is criminal or immoral or whatever it is, you're like denying people their own tragedy.
Yeah.
You're denying people their own grievance, their right to grieve. And it's monstrous. Every time it comes up, it's monstrous. They have zero empathy for what people go through. They just want to push their religious ideals.
And you would think that would be unpopular, because being that cutthroat towards everyone around you eventually like ends badly for you, you know? And the fact that they can't even look, let alone 2 weeks into the future to see how this doesn't help them and how it actually harms them is bizarre. Like, it's bizarre to me.
It is.
Like if she almost fucking died from her own political views, and she's still saying it.
Yeah.
Still. Oh, I don't know if the X Games will let me play their shit. I watched a dude do a fucking 1260 on a BMX bike. I was like, what is happening? How did you just do that? Why did you just do that? Why did you just do that to me? I have a funny one for unbox later.
Okay.
It's pretty funny. Ooh, the Caitlin Clark scenario was pretty good, but sports.
What about that? Let's do some good trolling here. What about that dude who like plays people's voices back at them in Call of Duty?
That guy. Oh, Christian. Yeah, he's funny. Yeah.
If you want to see a good non-toxic, just someone trolling people on Call of Duty.
Oh, we had another alien sighting. I was gonna put that on there, but it was just another drone.
Oh, was it, or was it the eclipse again?
Yeah. Oh, there's the dolphins. There's the mayfly. Oh, dude, Lake Erie needs those lizards.
Lake Erie does need those lizards.
There we go. We solved the problem. Oh, is that it? No, that's not it. Hold on. Damn it! I just had it. Well, let's. I'll scour. Say goodbye to our friends. What's everybody talking about in the chat while I'm
Let's
viciously
see.
scrolling here? Viciously.
Tons of Mice says video Zero sniffing around looking for his balls.
It is a good thing his balls are gone. We probably wouldn't be able to live together.
Tons of Mice also says Toledo needs toads.
Lizards for Cincinnati and toads for Toledo.
The chat is also sharing their personal stories about
abortions.
Yeah. I'm not gonna put
Chris
that
Cuomo.
up on all the things, but yeah. Christy says, I hate how religion impacts day-to-day life regardless. So
Word.
true.
Oh, hell no.
Will Nigel Farage be the next prime minister?
Here
no.
we go.
Sorry, and that I have made mistakes.
Oh, Liz Truss.
But them's the breaks.
But them's the breaks.
Here we'll go out. We'll let the ladies and the gentlemen ogle at Politics Bay.
Cuomo was so upset. Yeah, I love Chi.
Party is not afraid of migrants, as Trump may like, but they are afraid of these guys, Iranian nationals with jihadist sympathies.
Bro, what are you?
You let them in with a laxity that AOC and other radicals insisted on. And the far left is actively embracing people who are the enemy. Pro-Hamas, people who chant globalize the Intifada, the Palestinian uprising characterized by over 130 suicide bombings. Really?
Remember what? I'm glad that I just had that long conversation about how, like, what's so annoying to me about Islamophobia and the way that I experience it, the way that I see it is like, I know what he's saying is racist. Many of you know what he's saying is racist. But I know for a fact that he's not going to get punished for this. As a matter of fact, not a single person in his orbit is going to turn around and be like, dog, aren't you supposed to be like a Democrat? What the are you saying right now? It's that extra anger. It's that resentment and anger that I have, knowing full well that society doesn't check this kind of attitude at all. Look, man, it's his brother. Don't lie. You wouldn't do the same amount. No, not to this degree. Are you kidding me? Christopher C. Cuomo, enough with the fake division, sides, and parties. These extreme Islamists want to kill both sides. Extremism at home and abroad are the...
This is Chris Cuomo.
Oh, my God.
Christopher C. Cuomo.
Pretty soon we're going to be calm this country.
Cuomonist.
Threat. Anyone making an excuse for these types are the part of the problem. What? ICE nabs 11 Iranian migrants, including suspected terrorists, as Border Patrol warns of possible sleeper cells. Wait, what? So you saw ICE grab Iranian migrants, and you just automatically assume that they're terrorists. Is that what's going on? They're sleeper cells? Like, you're pro ICE now? Yeah. ICE is just like randomly deporting Iranian migrants on U.S. soil to beef up the narrative that there's like sleeper cells in the country. And this guy's a willing participant in this propaganda operation. Nice.
Which is why there was no CNN on this broadcast today, because that's all they do now.
Yeah. Also, I like the point out he's like eating on stream.
He does that a lot. But he also streams like 9 hours a day.
Yeah, that is a lot of streaming. Did we come up with a name for our show? Our new cooking show? Our new food show?
I don't know.
Is it... Oh, I can't even scroll that far up in the chat. Is it what was it? Bin table or something like that?
A seat at the bin table. The binner table.
The binner table. There we go. The binner table.
Binner table issues.
Binner table issues. Well, put in your names for our new food related podcast into the chat. We'll pick one.
The Foodie Boys.
The Foodie Boys. Oh my god. I also have one that I'll tell you about later, Mikey.
Sweden. Oh man, Sweden is popping off. Oh shit. Chartan.
Chartan, where were you at this day and time?
Bro tripping.
Yeah.
Like I play a lot of Call of Duty. I wasn't gonna be I'll use this against the police. Like, nah, we're not actually Bro got him in the leg. Holy shit, he actually hit him. Oh, you're fucked. Nah, that leg's done, brother. You are completely taking a bullet through the leg and then thinking that you're just gonna get up and run off.
He's seen too many animes.
Nah, it doesn't work like that. Your muscles are like, what just happened? No, I'm not working. Are you kidding me? There is a hole over here. We are shut down. He said he gonna crawl over there and what? You gonna crowbar him and stab him from open?
Here's a good one from Kate Smith. From table to bin, I would say the other way around. The table.
Bin to table. And then we're just like two little raccoons. No, we can't use raccoons. Racist. Thanks, racist. Now I can't even use raccoons in my iconography because y'all some haters.
Bin to table is a good one because it's a play on
bin to table. Ooh, stuff we've been eating. I love AAVE.
Bro, give it up.
Look at the blood.
Give it up, bro.
I like
this. An artery.
Yeah, dude. If they nick that femoral artery, you only have about 45 seconds until you're dead anyway. But like, this is a perfect privacy fence because it's like keeping it just at the level. Like it's obscured everything that would like get this in trouble. Like on YouTube, this is perfect. You better throw that knife away, or else they're not gonna help you.
Yeah. Medical attention now.
Don't be yelling help. Nah, brother.
Oh my god.
Bro,
quit that man.
Bro, quit bleeding on my sidewalk and throw your weapons away.
Ta det lugnt för fan.
Bro in his apartment, like, I'm just washing the window right now.
I know. Like, I didn't see it. I'm not paying attention.
Just vacuuming the deck like I always do.
Did you ever see a video of like people doing that? Just like, I'm vacuuming the sidewalk. Don't pay attention. I'm just doing what I always do.
Just sweeping the bushes. Oh, he put something in the sewer.
Oh. Well, they said he was like an arsonist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's trying to blow some stuff up.
Yo, they didn't fuck around. Wow, look. This is new for me. I can see all their faces and they have on uniforms.
Wow.
Probably with name tags on it.
And badges with their numbers. So you could like, hey, can I report you to your superiors?
Uh-oh. Russell Cannon says, when I was at school, the canteen used to make a pie that looked like it was filled with waste from the slop bin, baked beans, bit of egg, and random things. You know, that probably went down good. Like, there's just some days where I'm just like, yes, put on plate. And then I just...
That's fucked up.
Do you remember what sostroming is?
No.
That's the fermented shark.
Oh.
Wayne ate it, I think.
Gross. Wayne would.
But the
we should
dangerous
get
one
outta-
would be the herring, the canned herring.
We should get out of here.
We should get out of here.
But thanks everyone for watching. Come back later tonight.
I got it. Okay. This is the happy story. I got it.
Okay.
You ready? Be happy.
An elephant caused a commotion in a grocery store in Thailand when he strolled in from a nearby national park and brazenly helped himself to some snacks.
He was hungry.
He just wanted some snacks.
Okay, here we go. Last guess game of the show. What did the elephants?
Mikey broke his microphone. What did the elephant steal? Is that the question? What did the elephant steal? Yeah. So put in your guesses now. What did the elephant steal?
Should be coming. There it is.
There we go.
I freaking unplugged the Yeti and then I fucked it up. But yes, what did he steal? Oh my, Sarah.
Oh my God. The puns. The puns.
The puns are coming in heavy and thick. Thanks, Alistair. We love you. The corner of the room. Oh, yes.
Peanuts. Yeah.
You know how many peanuts an elephant would have to eat to even
So
realize he was eating a peanut?
So many. All right, Mikey, what is it? There's no volume. Oh, it got muted somehow. Can't unmute your guest screen. They aren't capturing audio. Hey, Mikey, we can't hear it.
Oh, you can't hear it?
No.
Oh, that's strange. I will try again. Do. Oh, you know what? It probably got fucked up after I unplugged my shit. There we go. Sorry.
The shopkeeper could do little but yell as the elephant devoured 9 bags of sweet rice crackers, a sandwich, and some bananas. The elephant had been known to enter people's homes.
You got some rice cakes, a sandwich, and some bananas.
He was just in the shop, just looking for lunch or whatever.
Elephants are very intelligent. The elephant's in the national park. He sees people go down the street, into building, walk out, snack. Down the street, into building, walk out, snack. He walked down street, into building, yelled at, screamed at, everybody being mean, no receipt, no bag, no thank you, have a good day.
He probably heard about the sale.
Everyone's wondering if he tusked anything.
All right.
Crackers, a sandwich, and some bananas. The elephant had been known to enter people's homes in search of food, but this was the first.
Why y'all make the fucking shop so fucking small?
Yeah.
How's he supposed to fit? You mad at him for smashing his head? It looks like he's being so careful. He's like, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I am so sorry. Like, make it bigger. Make it fucking, drive through.
Time he'd gone into
a drive-through for elephants. Just take your bank account and throw it in the garbage.
Yeah.
After about 10 minutes, hastily summoned rangers managed to shoo him safely out of the shop. As farmers push into forests for agriculture, elephants have been forced to venture out of their shrinking habitats in search of food, leading to confrontations that can turn deadly. Fortunately, this elephant left little damage behind, apart from some untidy shelves and an unpaid bill.
Hey, you didn't pay for that sandwich.
He didn't have his wallet on him.
It was in his other trunk.
I knew it was coming. I just avoided it like the plague.
All right.
There you go.
Like and subscribe. Become a member on YouTube. Patreon.com/thebin podcast. We'll see you later
Girls
tonight.
are fighting, aren't they?
For Unbox Politics with Mark and Ollie.
Yes.
And
I love Tesla.
Didn't I have a new Trump? I had a new Trump.
Yeah, you had him
one?
slurring his words. Didn't
Oh
you?
no, this one.
Don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand?
Oh yes.
Of course, disagree with your analysis completely, but I want to be respectful.
Okay. All right. That's it.
Right.
I gotta go feed this kid. We're gonna go have lunch. We got leftover Chinese food for lunch. My favorite.
Leftover Chinese food is the best kind of leftovers.
Goodbye. We love you. We really do. Bye.